Chapter 648. In the Hall of Myriad Origins. The main hall's doors were closed and pitch black. However, Yao Qingjun did not know how he did it, but the hall was instantly lit up. Li Hansong asked curiously, "Aren't you only able to open and close doors? You're even working part-time now?" Yao Qingjun glanced at him. "This is my first time, so it's hard for me to control it instantly. After some time, I should be able to control the entire Hall of Myriad Origins." Fan Ping and the others did not pay attention to the two of them. They looked around. This was a huge hall that stretched as far as the eye could see. On both sides of the hall, there were small rooms. Even the doors of these small rooms were 4 to 5 meters high. The walls of these small rooms were like crystals. Fan Ping looked for a while and suddenly said, "This? Did you guys notice?" Qin Fengqing nodded hurriedly, looking surprised. "This isn't the Hall of Myriad Origins, is it? Isn't this MCMAU Energy Cultivation Room?" Fan Ping said with a straight face. "That's right. This design, this shape. Isn't this what an energy cultivation room looks like? It's separated into individual cultivation rooms. But MCMAU's cultivation rooms are much more low-end than this." Having said that, Fan Ping slapped the wall of a room next to him. It did not budge. "Amazing!" Fan Ping exclaimed and looked at Yao Qingjun. "Is this a mentality solidification object?" He was a fully accomplished golden body. A casual slap could even deform A-grade alloy. However, this crystal-like wall did not budge at all. Yao Qingjun's soul-splitting spear was related to mentality. "I'm not sure." Yao Qingjun shook his head. Maybe something else was added. As for whether it's the Hall of Myriad Origins or the cultivation room, I'm not sure either. MCMAU's cultivation room might be modeled after the Hall of Myriad Origins. After all, Minister Zhang and the rest should have been here before. It's not a big deal to build it according to this. The energy cultivation room's layout was very simple. It used a large number of energy crystals to build a cultivation room that isolated energy to prevent energy from leaking. There was nothing special about it. The reason they said it was similar was because the walls of these small rooms were all crystal-like, giving Fan Ping and the rest a sense of familiarity. Fan Ping rubbed his chin. "You don't say. It might really be a cultivation room. Otherwise, why would you be so bored as to create something to store the origin? Unless you know that everyone is going to die, otherwise, why would you build such a huge palace just to store those things? If it was a cultivation room, it would be possible. Old Jiao, take a closer look and see if there's any energy transmission system." All of them were high-ranked martial artists. They were not people who had never seen the world. The moment they saw these small rooms, they immediately connected them to the cultivation rooms. Yao Qingjun's mentality began to seep out continuously. Fan Ping and the rest also tried it, but it was useless. It could not penetrate through at all. Yao Qingjun was the only one who didn't seem to be guarded against by this hall. The probability of it being refined by Yao Qingjun in his previous life was extremely high. Furthermore, the level of the Myriad Origin Hall was probably extremely high. Ordinary weapons, including divine armaments, should have lost their spirituality long ago if they had not been owned for a long time. The so-called spirituality referred to the activity brought about by the mental energy of the divine armament's owner. If someone else were to use the divine weapon that Fan Ping used, there would be some barriers. However, if a powerhouse erased the mark that Fan Ping left behind, then this kind of barrier would no longer exist. Old Zhan had experience with this. When a powerhouse died many years ago, the imprints left behind when they were alive would also dissipate. No one knew how many years had passed since this hall was built, but the imprint that old Zhao left behind was still there. The hall was still active. This was not simple. Yao Qingjun probed for a while. After a while, he frowned slightly. "There seems to be one. It's on the roof." Everyone looked up. The hall was very tall. At a glance, the hall's height was at least about 10 meters. The dome was also dazzling in the shape of a crystal, as if there was liquid flowing. It was crystal clear, too much for the eyes to take in. After staring for a while, Qin Fengqing suddenly leaped into the air and threw a punch. Bang! There was a loud bang, but the dome did not move an inch. Seeing this, Qin Fengqing did not give up. He did not attack again. Instead, he stuck close to the dome, touched it, listened, and sniffed. This look made Li Hansong click his tongue. He teased, "I said he's the reincarnation of Howling Celestial Hound, but he didn't believe me. This guy has a dog's nose. He must have smelled something good. Now he wants to open the dome to see what's good." In the sky, Qin Fengqing scolded, "You're the dog's nose. This is called sensitivity and intuition. The dome should be hollow. There is indeed something inside. The flowing liquid seems to be liquefied energy. Maybe it's liquefied imperishable matter. F***ck, what a big deal. This place probably wasn't used to store origin in the past. It's more likely to be a sacred place for cultivation. Just like the Lake of Eternity in the Boundary Zone. Above the dome might be imperishable matter like this, supplied to old Zhao's disciples for cultivation." He had just finished when Wang Jinyang said lightly, "Maybe old Zhao is just a craftsman. Are you sure this is old Zhao's palace? Maybe he was a craftsman who specialized in forging weapons and palace utensils in the past?" Qin Fengqing said disdainfully, "A craftsman who can build this kind of palace? This is at least the handiwork of a paragon. Your family uses a paragon as a craftsman? That's hard to say." They talked for a while. Fang Ping was a little speechless. Old One knew how to gossip now. Ignoring them, Fang Ping shouted, "Come here. There are some written records outside these small rooms. Come and take a look." Everyone crowded around them. Fang Ping looked at them and said, "This is regular script, right? I don't recognize some of the words. You guys do it." Everyone was disdainful, including Qin Fengqing and Iron Head. "Illiterate. Uncultured. You don't even recognize regular script. You call yourself a celestial emperor? Isn't it embarrassing?" Everyone present, even the slow-witted Tai Tu, often studied ancient books. Fang Ping's expression darkened. "Mother ***, where did I find the time to learn these messy things in the past 2 years?" He did not recognize the seal script from before. These guys were not too familiar with it either. But then again, they were really more familiar with it than he was. Qin Fengqing said casually, "I won't argue with you anymore. Let me introduce you. The owner of this crystal house is called Householder Cloudy Mountain. It should be a word, but he didn't say a specific name. People of Huainan sect. This is the administrative division of the Tang dynasty, right? He lives in Cloudy Mountain. I'm not sure where Cloudy Mountain is. Maybe you can find out if you check the ancient books. He's the master of Cloudy Mountain Monastery, an illuminating god martial artist. Wait." Fang Ping raised his eyebrows. "Illuminating god?" Li Hansong explained. "It's rank 7. Rank 7 mentality materialization. In ancient times, it was also called illuminating god. It means martial arts are connected to the gods. Rank 8 was also called golden body in ancient times. Rank 9 is called true immortal. Rank 9 can turn nothingness into reality. Origin appears. That's a true god-fiend powerhouse. According to some god-fiend legends recorded in ancient books, rank 9 powerhouses are almost omnipotent." Fang Ping nodded. "I know this. I've seen it too. I've said it before. Guardian Wu and the rest are really weak. They're all fake rank 9. I don't know if those below the absolute peak are not considered true rank 9 in ancient times. The difference is really big." Everyone looked at him. "You're awesome." This guy was really arrogant. He even said that Wu Chuan was a fake rank 9. Was he not afraid that Wu Chuan would find out and beat him to death? "Continue." Fang Ping did not care about them. He let Qin Fengqing translate. Qin Fengqing was not in the mood to despise him. He continued, "There's nothing else. There's not much to introduce about his life. He bragged a little. He once killed an evil dragon in Huainan sect. This is probably the most illustrious achievement in his life. Fan Ping said thoughtfully. He might not be bragging. You've all seen the monsters in the catacombs. 1,000 years ago, in the land of Sino Nation, were there really no demons? Not necessarily. If there were, then it's normal that the other party killed a monster that looked like a dragon. He was a rank 7 martial artist after all. His combat strength would not be too weak. Right, is there anything else? No. That's all. Fan Ping was speechless. He said gloomily, "These old seniors really know how to save trouble. They know that they're going to do something big. Can't they leave more things behind? For example, make a hero list or something. Give a detailed introduction of their life." Not necessarily. Wang Jinyang said softly. You have to know that the Hall of 10,000 Origins has been in Star City for many years. It was brought by those Paragon ancestors. How do you know that there's no information left behind? These words were imprinted on the crystal door. If the Paragon ancestors erased them, it might cause some damage. That's why they left them behind. But look at the hall now. It's empty. Could it be that it was originally like this? The end of the huge hall could not be seen at a glance. Other than some small halls on both sides and around, the rest of the place was empty. Before this, it might not have been like this. Fan Ping and the others had already seen a huge empty space about 1,000 meters in front of them. That might be the martial arts arena where these people cultivated in their spare time. Would there be no weapons left in the martial arts arena? But now, that place was also empty. Practitioner Cloudy Mountain's hall was at the outermost area. It was only rank 7, so it should be the weakest. The door of the hall was not opened. This practitioner Cloudy Mountain might have completely perished, or he might be among the martial artists who resurrected outside. However, without achieving mentality vitality unity, one could not release mentality and could not open the hall. Fan Ping paced, saying as he walked, "These people sealed off these halls. I can faintly feel the flow of life force inside, but it's very weak unless I use mentality of the same origin to guide it. Now I understand why Star City doesn't open on its own. First of all, it might not be opened by force. Second, if it is opened by force, I'm afraid these halls will be destroyed. With the strength of the Paragon ancestors, and many of them at that, if they join forces, it seems to me that this hall that is not controlled by anyone will not be able to stop them. But if the strength of the Paragon ancestors were to open it by force, perhaps everything would be obliterated." Yao Qingjun nodded slightly. "It should be possible to open it by force. I can feel that the energy of the seal is not too strong. Rank 9 might be able to open it by force. But if it is opened by force, the source of life and the origin of martial arts will probably dissipate completely. Star City's purpose is not to let these dissipate." Qin Fengqing interrupted. "I don't care about this. What I care about is there really the aura of the origin left inside? Nothing else? For example, weapons, pills, cultivation methods and the like? I don't think so. Since it's very likely that they would die in battle, would these people not even leave a cultivation method behind? Would they wait for it to be lost? Star City has opened up many halls, but there are no good things. Didn't Fan Ping get a lot of vitality recovery pills and the like before? Those are all treasures. Could it be that there are none in these halls?" As they spoke, they had already walked to the front of the second hall. The handwriting on the door of the second hall was very blurry. Fan Ping sensed for a moment, and shook his head slightly. It has been opened before. But after it was opened, the door was closed again. Yao Qingjun's mentality was fluctuating continuously. After a while, he panted slightly and said, "I can open it, but it's my first time here. I don't have enough control, so I can't open it for now. Give me some time, I can still open these halls that have been opened before again. But I'm afraid I can't open those that have not been opened before. Because once I open them, the origin inside will dissipate." Qin Fengqing's eyes brightened. "Then if I give you more time, can you open them by force under the condition that the origin doesn't dissipate? If you can, then the treasures left behind by these seniors, can't you get your hands on them? It should be possible, but… Yao Qingjun thought for a while and said, but if I want to preserve the origin, I still have to open them by force. I'm afraid my current mentality is not strong enough. Qin Fengqin calculated for a while and said with some regret, then what's the use of us here? Fan Ping, change your aura and open a few doors to take a look. There might be good things inside. Fan Ping hesitated for a moment before saying, I can open rank 7 doors that have not been resurrected by anyone. The scary thing is that someone resurrected but did not manage to open them in time. If I open them, how am I going to explain it? Previously, when I was observing from the outside, I saw about 20 resurrected martial artists. There are still some who have not returned. They must have also sensed their own palace halls. If I were to open their palace halls now, wouldn't I make them break down later? If their own origin hall is opened by someone else, miscalculation. Qin Fengqin suddenly exclaimed in a low voice. He had really miscalculated this time. He should have met those resurrected martial artists and memorized their auras. Then, he would find a hall that had not been opened by anyone and was not resurrected to open it. Just as Fang Ping said, if he opened the halls of these resurrected martial artists now, it would be really hard to explain. The people present knew about Fang Ping, but outsiders did not know. Some things were still clear in their hearts. Fan Ping did not hide some of his nature-defying abilities from them, but it did not mean that everyone knew. After all, Fan Ping had not reached the point of invincibility. If a paragon had the idea, Fan Ping could only wait to be used as a guinea pig. So we're just going to watch? Fan Ping rubbed his chin and smiled. Since it's old Yao's, then can we really only come once? Resurrected martial artists, we can only meet them next time. Those who have not resurrected or haven't been found are either completely dead, or can't be found anymore. We agreed not to comprehend. Now, we can only open the rank 7 halls. It's not a big deal to give up for now. After saying that, Fang Ping said again. Actually, it's not like we've gained nothing. Everyone, record all the information outside the door. I still have 2 territory zones tokens here. I'll go check and see if I can find the corresponding people. If I can, it means that this group of people is indeed resurrected from the land of King Battlefields. The senior I met was a rank 9 powerhouse. Old Wang, what rank was the one you met? Also rank 9. Fan Ping heard that and frowned slightly. That's a little interesting. Almost all the people I met in the land of King Battlefields were rank 9. If it's a group of people, there seems to be only 32 rank 9 here. There should be more than one land of King Battlefields, right? Forget it, let's not care about this first. Recording all the martial artists' information will more or less yield some results. Also, go deeper. There seems to be a rank 9 hall in the depths. I've already sensed some aura of the source of martial arts. Also, everyone try it. It might not be that your source of martial arts isn't there. Everyone felt that it was necessary to give it a try. Qin Fengqin looked disapproving. Fan Ping looked at him and said, Don't be disapproving. You might be the reincarnation of a rank 7 martial artist. Look for it yourself. If it's really here, then you'll be old Yao's servant. Ironhead, don't fight with old Yao for subordinates in the future. Qin Fengqin's expression darkened. Servant. Whoever dares to say this next time, I'll definitely kill him. I'll remember this grudge. Moreover, even if they are, these rank 7 martial artists did not say that they were old Yao's servants, okay? Even the weakest hermit Cloudy Mountain was a mountain lord, okay? Everyone continued to walk forward in the midst of the clamor. Along the way, they also saw a lot of information remnants. Sima Jin, Sima family's head, Golden Body Powerhouse, Zhou Mingwei, Bright Moon Tower's landlord, Golden Body Powerhouse. Some of the palaces had been opened, some had not. There were a total of 318 small palaces. A small half had been opened, and a large half had not. Moreover, everyone also saw some palaces with crystal walls that had been completely destroyed. They had been destroyed by force. Yao Qingjun saw a palace wall that had been destroyed, frowning slightly. After a long time, he said, "This should be Polaris City destroying the palaces by force. They wanted to open the palaces and get the things inside." However, everyone glanced at it, afraid that Polaris City did not gain anything. Violent destruction had also destroyed everything inside the palaces. The crystal walls were slightly deformed, caused by the impact force. It was likely that the things inside were gone at that time. Of course, if they were ancient weapons, they might have been left behind. However, books, pills, and so on should have been completely destroyed. This empty palace was not small. Moreover, it was not just a cultivation room. There were living rooms, bedrooms, and there seemed to be a study. The area was quite large, at least more than 300 square meters. Just the 318 palaces alone occupied an area of at least 100,000 square meters. The palaces were not the entirety of the palace. Everyone passed by the martial arts arena and saw some buildings that had been destroyed. Perhaps it was some unimportant place in the past. The Hall of Myriad Origins was at least more than 200,000 square meters. An enclosed palace that was more than 300 acres in size. What did this mean? The key was not this. It was, when they looked from the outside, it was not so big. The Hall of Myriad Origins was located in the valley, and the valley was not that big. The entire valley was at most 100 acres in size. This was already an overestimation. Store a mountain in a mustard seed. When they saw the empty palace, only then did they realize that the area was huge. It's a weaponsmithing technique that involves space. The Paragon can't do it. Moreover, such a big palace could be refined like this. If it's really mentality that solidifies and remains unchanged for 1,000 years. For a moment, everyone looked at Yao Qingjun. Li Hansong was solemn at this moment. He said with a straight face, "There's no need to look. Our origin is definitely not here. Old Yao is probably also above the Paragon. Perhaps the Paragon can achieve this kind of weaponsmithing technique that involves space. The current Paragon mainly focuses on combat strength. He doesn't care about other aspects. In our era, there should be 100 flowers blooming. Old Yao is at least a Paragon. If he is a Paragon, then we must be too. At least, we won't be weaker than a Paragon. If that's the case, with our origin left behind, the possibility is not high. Moreover, we are on the same level as Old Yao. Under such circumstances, even if I keep my origin, it won't be stored in Old Yao's palace. It's more like keeping it in my own home. Also, Old Yao, your home, might have been breached." Li Hansong said sympathetically, "I suspect that this palace was moved here from the bounded zone. If your home wasn't breached, how could Star City get the palace here?" "Old Yao, you don't have a home anymore." Yao Qingjun's face was livid. He did not know whether he was angry that his home had been breached or angry at Ironhead's words. Fan Ping guessed that the latter was more likely. The truth was indeed so. Yao Qingjun heard him still nagging and could not help but say in a muffled voice, "Can you shut up? You talk about my home all the time. Find your home. At least I found a palace. This proves that my strength in my past life was indeed extremely strong. From what aspect do you see that you're stronger than me?" Li Hansong sneered, his face full of disdain. "Nonsense!" Just as he was about to speak, Qin Fengqing suddenly shouted from the front, "What's with all the noise? Come here. We've discovered a big secret." Everyone hurried over. At this moment, Qin Fengqing was already at the innermost periphery of the palace. The palaces here were not connected. Instead, they were individual palaces. There was more than one. There were a total of 3 separate palaces. The doors of the other 2 palaces were closed. There were no introductions at the door. The third palace from the left, which was the one Qin Fengqing was standing at, had a tombstone in front of the door. Devil Emperor Unquestionable Sword. When Qin Fengqing and the others arrived, he muttered. Very quickly he looked at Fan Ping and said, "Your old brother's grave. You're a celestial emperor. He's a devil emperor. TSK, you dare to say another word of nonsense? Fan Ping's gaze was unfriendly. Qin Fengqin chuckled and continued. Purple Cap Mountain's abandoned disciple, defeated general, deserter. TSK, did he write this himself or his descendants? It's all derogatory. Also, his wife was killed. He gave up on himself and had no way to take revenge. He didn't dare to fight to the end in the Great War that year. He dragged out an ignoble existence for thousands of years. Is this true or false? Qin Fengqin muttered and added his own words. He said with some surprise, lived for thousands of years? No, he dragged out an ignoble existence for thousands of years. How long has this devil emperor lived? Great War. What Great War? These few fellows are separated from those rank 9s. They should be paragons. 3 desperate realms? That's not weak. Where did these people go? None of them came back? Did old Zhao lead 3 paragons back then? This devil emperor is going to do something big this time. He seems to be one of the leaders this time. Qin Fengqin rambled for a while. Beside him, Li Hansong interrupted him directly. I know what their big plan is. As soon as he finished speaking, he said in a low voice. Change the world. Fan Ping and the others looked solemn, looking at him one after another. Li Hansong continued. Change the world. Yes, that's all. Everyone's eyes were sharp. Beside him, Qin Fengqin said lazily. Look at the inscription. A part of it has been erased. What's with the nonsense about changing the world? You see it, there's nothing else. There must have been some big plan mentioned here. A lot of it has been erased in the end. No need to ask. Star City's paragons did it. Fan Ping and the others looked at the inscription. Sure enough, the last part had been erased. Fan Ping looked at the palace again, frowning. Interesting. Great War. What Great War? Deserter? A powerhouse who might be a paragon's actually became a deserter. After 1,000 years, he came out again to participate in a big plan. Why would Star City hide this? The past can't be traced, and there's no need to trace it. The only thing I'm curious about now is, are the 13 paragons one of them? I've discovered that 16 halls have been activated on the rank 9 side. If we include the 3 outside, that means that there are still 13 left. Are these people already dead, or are they someone else? This is getting more and more interesting. Is there a need for Star City to hide these things? Even if the 13 paragons were really survivors of the war or resurrected, time flies and everything is in the past. Even if they were deserters back then, there's no need to hide anything. Of course, it's considered a dark history after all. It's normal for them not to tell us. Also, it's said that the Hall of Myriad Origins was moved back by the paragons. If they were the ones who moved it back, it means that they might not be one of them. Forget it, I don't care anymore. Fan Ping suddenly shook his head. He thought for a while and said, I'm not interested in what the big plan is. The token doesn't seem to have a corresponding person. It shouldn't be someone from here who has the token. Let's not idle around. Although we can't activate the halls now, I've discovered that the energy here is quite rich. No, it's not energy. It's more like the overflow of a type of martial arts origin. Let's cultivate and cultivate. When old Zhang comes, we'll go out. Even if we can't get the Hall of Myriad Origins this time, we can't go back empty-handed. I've already got some clues after reading this information. Fan Ping felt that he had achieved his goal. He had already thought of many things now. Perhaps he would be able to find the corresponding bounded domain soon and obtain the cultivation method. As for old Zhao and the rest, Fan Ping had some vague guesses. These fellows should not be this batch of martial artists who had been resurrected. These people were more like the resurrected martial artists from the King battlefield. Could the great battle that the Devil Emperor Unquestionable Jian mentioned be the one at the King battlefield? 1,000 years plus 1,000 years, that would be 2,000 years ago. Was the King battlefield formed 2,000 years ago? Old Yao and the rest were one of that batch of people? In the depths of the King battlefield, their remains might be there. Was there the origin? Or had they completely turned into the chaos origin? Old Zhang is here. He doesn't want anything else but all the information that Star City can give. No, he also wants the ownership of the Hall of Myriad Origins. Fan Ping glanced at the 3 individual palaces in front of him. Were these really left behind by the ultimate martial artists? If they were, would 3 new paragons be born when the resurrected martial artists returned? Was suppressing Star City looking for all the resurrected martial artists, or were they looking for these 3? Chapter 649. Outside the Hall of Myriad Origins. At this moment, more and more people were gathering. Jiang Chao and the other youngsters were usually not allowed to enter this place. Now, however, while the elders were not in the mood to care about them, they strolled over one by one. Jiang Chao glanced at the tightly shut hall and whispered, "Pervert, did Fan Ping and the rest rob the Hall of Myriad Origins?" Jiang Hao ignored him. Jiang Chao continued, "Are they going to resist stubbornly, seal the hall, and fight to the end? Do you think they'll be beaten to death here this time? Pervert, these guys have a bright future. Why don't we sell them a favor when they come out later?" Jiang Hao looked at him suddenly, his gaze sharp. "What do you want to do?" Jiang Chao looked around, thought for a moment, and whispered, "I realized that someone went to Mount Imperial Sea to invite the Patriarch. King Wu is coming too. The possibility of these guys being beaten to death is not high. It's not that dangerous." Jiang Hao was impatient. He glared at him and growled, "Just say it. When the Patriarch comes later or King Wu comes. What do you think? Let's go up and kneel to the Patriarch and plead on their behalf? When the time is right, let the Patriarch see our benevolence. Let King Wu know the loyalty of us Jiang brothers. At the same time, let Fan Ping and the rest know what it means to go through fire and water for your brothers." Jiang Chao grinned. "Kneeling to the Patriarch is nothing. When I saw him when I was young, I kowtowed every day. It's not embarrassing. But think about it, we're both rank 6 and 7 martial artists. For a few guys we've only met a few times, we're kowtowing and pleading. Damn, this time they'll be moved to tears. Besides, King Wu is powerful. Our Patriarch is on good terms with him. If we sell King Wu a favor, TSK, maybe we'll have a backer. Pervert, don't blame me for not reminding you. In this day and age, cultivation is important, but the key is whether you have the confidence to cultivate to the peak. If you don't have the confidence, those guys, I'm telling you, they really have the confidence." At this point, Jiang Chao calculated for a while, muttering, "My family's elder ancestor, King Wu, Fan Ping, Wang Jinyang, Li Han Song, Yao Qingjun. If the few at the back all become paragon, F***CK, that'll be 6. Baldy this guy. I don't think he has a chance. If I marry Susu, then the Su family's ancestor will be my backer. Rather than working hard on cultivation, it was better to invest. 7 paragons. From today onwards, who in this world would dare to provoke me?" As Jiang Chao spoke, he swallowed his saliva. Too awesome. That was doable. He wondered which old ancestor had returned. It would be best if it was his old ancestor. Now that his Patriarch was here, if kowtowing wasn't enough, he would have to break his head. Only then would he appear to be deeply loyal. If it was someone else's ancestor, a kowtow would suffice. As Jiang Chao thought about it, his lips curled up. At the side, Jiang Hao's expression changed again and again. He gently patted Jiang Chao's shoulder, causing Jiang Chao's face to turn green. "Fatty," Jiang Hao chuckled. "If you embarrass me, I'll skin you alive. Don't worry, your skin will be intact." Jiang Chao snorted and pushed his hand away, muttering, "Why do you care if I'm embarrassed or not? Besides, how is it embarrassing to plead for a friend? You people only know how to fight and never use your brains. You're the ones who are embarrassing. It's best if our old ancestor returns. When he returns, Jiang Chao screamed, instantly attracting the attention of the rank 9 martial artists in front. Each of them glared at him angrily. Jiang Chao's tears were about to fall. The pervert almost crushed his shoulder. How hateful! Who are you calling me old ancestor? Jiang Hao's expression was unfriendly. Jiang Chao's fat face trembled, complaining incessantly. Baldy says that to me every day. I'm used to it. Stay away from this kind of person. Vulgar. No problem. Let go first. When Jiang Hao let go, Jiang Chao shot him a look. Just you wait. Later you'll complain to the old ancestor for bullying me every day. While the two brothers were messing around, in front, Su Haoran said somewhat anxiously. Is the old ancestor back? Don't tell me these bastards are sabotaging the place? If the few of them joined forces, they could still forcefully break through some of the halls. Once they were broken through, the origin would overflow, and that would be the end. These origins had long been weak. Now, they could only wait for the owner of the origin to recover. Once it overflowed, it could no longer gather. Wei Yong said in a low voice. Destroying some halls is nothing. I'm just afraid. Before he could finish, everyone's expression changed. Beside him, the few family heads who had just arrived, one of them snorted coldly. I told you not to invite, but you just had to. What's the use of saying all this now? Until now, no one has opened the 3 main palaces. Their performance was so freakish. Perhaps they were the masters of the 3 main palaces. It was highly likely that the origin of the apex was there. No matter how strong an ordinary rank 9 was, it was not as important as the apex. Shouldn't we invite them here? As soon as these words came out, the others did not say anything. This was also the truth. The 3 main palaces were separated by the leaders of that group of people back then. Although there was no essential difference between an ordinary rank 9 origin and an apex's origin, one had reached the end of the path, while the other had just started. Both were still different. Suppressing Star City also had high hopes for Fang Ping and the others to come. These fellows' performance was too freakish. The probability of them being an apex's awakening was even higher. Bringing them to the Hall of Myriad Origins was also a kind of temptation. If it was really an apex's awakening, with the apex's origin, would they not be tempted? When that time came, they would still be able to comprehend it. Now, before they even started, the Hall of Myriad Origins had already been lost. At this moment, ripples appeared in midair. In the blink of an eye, a figure appeared in midair. Patriarch! Lord Warlord! Greetings, Patriarch! The next moment, the crowd bowed one after another. In midair, the sturdy warlord ignored these people. His gaze seemed to penetrate the boundary wall, looking into the distance. His tone was not very pleasant as he said, You're martial arts university students. It's no problem for you to rob the catacombs, but are you going to rob Star City too? Senior Warlord, you must be joking! A burst of hearty laughter came through the air. Zhang Tao's laughter shook the sky. He said, Misunderstanding, it's all a misunderstanding. No one expected that the Hall of Myriad Origins would belong to Yao Qingjun. If we had known, there would not have been these misunderstandings. Warlord. For a moment, the sturdy warlord did not really want to talk to that guy. You haven't even arrived yet, and you've already decided on the status? What do you mean the Hall of Myriad Origins belongs to Yao Qingjun? Just because you say so? Although Yao Qingjun could open the door and even close it, it did not mean that it was his. Moreover, so what if it was his? He had already died once. In this life, he was 2 different people. The inheritance of the origin did not mean that he was the same person. Zhang Tao, you died in this life, leaving behind some divine weapons, which were divided by your descendants. You've lived again. Who knows if you're still the same Zhang Tao now? Warlord pondered for a while, thinking about how to refute later. However, he had not spoken for a long time. He might not be able to out-argue Zhang Tao. It seemed that he needed to use his strength to shut this guy up. Not long after the conversation, Zhang Tao said, Then I'll come in directly? Warlord did not say anything. Instead, he waved his hand in the air, causing ripples. In the next moment, Zhang Tao appeared in front of everyone. As soon as he appeared, Li Jin also appeared beside him. The three of them stood proudly in the void. The crowd below bowed again and said loudly, "Greetings, Pluto King, Martial King!" Zhang Tao smiled and nodded, but his voice rang in Li Jin's ear. "Pluto King in front, Martial King behind. The list must be changed tomorrow. Get lost!" Li Jin's mentality exploded in Zhang Tao's ear. "If you talk nonsense again, I'll kill you!" Both of them communicated through mentality, but they did not show it on their faces. Zhang Tao chuckled. "Senior Warlord called them out?" Warlord nodded slightly. Without another word, the three of them landed together. As soon as they landed, Zhang Tao looked at the closed door and said, "Come out." Previously, the rank 9s roared outside for a long time, but they could not get through the door and call Fang Ping and the others out. However, as soon as Zhang Tao spoke, the void trembled slightly, and the huge bronze door hummed. Not long after, the huge door opened slowly. "Minister!" The few people inside had not finished speaking. At this moment, a plump figure appeared from behind. Thud! A heavy thud was heard. Jiang Chao's eyes were red. He kowtowed and said loudly, "Patriarch, please spare Fan Ping and the others." Fan Ping and the others did not mean it. "Please have mercy, Patriarch." Thud, 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 a series of kowtows were heard. Then, the fat man howled dryly. "Lords Hell King, Martial King, Fan Ping and the others did not intend to occupy the Hall of Myriad Origins. Everything was an accident. Jiang Chao knows them. They are not that kind of people. If you really want to punish, just punish me, Jiang Chao. Fan Ping and I are indebted to him for saving my life. I can't just watch them die." As Jiang Chao spoke, his eyes became redder, as if he was about to cry the next moment. The whole place was silent. At this moment, the whole valley was eerily quiet. Warlord stared at the fat man, thinking for a long time. Should I kill him? Who said I wanted their lives? I haven't even said anything, and you're already begging for mercy. What's the meaning of this? Zhang Tao looked at the fat man strangely, then at Fan Ping and the others who had just come out. He did not say a word. Fan Ping, on the other hand, was stunned. Was Fatty Jiang sick? Qin Fengqing's mouth opened slightly. Amazing! Really amazing! This stupid fat man was amazing. Was this favor a favor? But he was begging for mercy on their behalf. Look, deep affection, a dignified man kneeling just because he said so. Look at the young people in the periphery. They had no experience and had never seen the world, but now they looked like they were worshipping him. What was this? Periphery. Jiang Hao had already disappeared. He had gone into hiding. He could not afford to lose face like this. Li Fei and the others were dumbfounded. Jiang Chao's action was unexpected. Su Zissou wanted to say something but stopped. After a while, she mumbled, "Fatty. Fatty's crying is so fake." Li Fei and the others glanced at her. "You could tell? We thought you couldn't tell. You're not really stupid. Then what happened to you before?" Su Zissou saw that they were looking at her and was a little confused. "Why are they looking at me? I've always told the truth and never lied. Fatty's crying is a little fake." Warlord did not say anything. Seeing that everyone was silent, Zhang Tao said slowly, "Get up first." "Martial King, sir." Jiang Chao looked sorrowful. He first looked at the paragons, then turned to Fang Ping and the others. His expression was solemn. His mouth moved, but he did not say anything. Qin Fengqing was a little tired. He helped to translate. "If we die, he won't live alone." Fang Ping's face was stiff. He was speechless for a while. Wang Jinyang sighed softly. "Star City. I bet he'll live the longest." They were all helpless. They did not want to say anything else. They did not say anything. Warlord, on the other hand, used his mentality to scan the basilica. Seeing that it was not damaged, he turned his gaze to Yao Qingjun. Ignoring Jiang Chao, he said slowly, "Try again." Yao Qingjun saw that warlord was staring at him. He did not say anything. Very quickly, he controlled the door to close it. "Can I open the basilica?" "No. Opening it will cause the origin to overflow." "Even you can't?" "Indeed." "Then the basilica's cultivation system can't be opened either?" "There's no other way." Warlord thought for a moment and said, "Is it because my mentality is not enough, or is it because I don't have enough time to familiarize myself with it?" "Both." "When I reach rank 9 and familiarize myself with it for a while, can I open it?" "It should be possible." Both of them conversed for a while. Warlord smiled. "If that's the case, why did you close the door? We even had to rush here." Yao Qingjun looked at Fang Ping. Fang Ping's expression did not change, but he cursed under his breath. "Old Yao, this bastard, are you trying to make me a scapegoat?" Yao Qingjun ignored him. He was not familiar with old Zhang and the rest, and he could not talk to Fang Ping. Of course, he would talk. Fang Ping did not delay either. He said hurriedly, "I didn't close the door on purpose. After we went in, the door suddenly closed automatically," Warlord said lightly. "Let's not talk about this nonsense. What do you guys want now?" Fang Ping looked at Zhang Tao innocently. "You're the boss. You say it. If you don't say it, I don't dare to say it. I want the Hall of Myriad Origins. What if Warlord kills himself?" Beside him, Li Jin looked at Zhang Tao, then at Fang Ping, then at Yao Qingjun and the rest. Why did these people give him a familiar aura? It was not an aura, it was a smell. He was still looking. Zhang Tao chuckled. "Let's talk in the meeting hall." "Let's go." Li Jin saw that he was about to leave but did not move. He said, "Let's talk here. There are a lot of juniors here. Let's see if you have the face to say anything here." Zhang Tao smiled. "This concerns the Hall of Myriad Origins. Let's go to the meeting hall." "Commander Li, am I right?" He emphasized the word commander. "You're the commander of the military department. We're on the same side." "Who are you siding with?" Li Jin was speechless. He did not say anything else. He moved and disappeared from the spot. As soon as he left, Warlord snorted softly and disappeared too. Zhang Tao did not mind. He smiled. "All the family heads can go together. Fang Ping, you guys come with me." After saying that, he disappeared with Fang Ping and the rest. After they left, Jiang Chao was still kneeling on the spot, his face blank. "What about me? Why is no one caring about me? Does this favor count as a sale?" Fortunately, it was not that no one cared about him. Soon, a few young children ran over, their faces full of admiration. "Fat. Brother Chow, you're so loyal." "Yeah, Brother Chow, we didn't expect you to be so loyal. We won't call you Fatty anymore. Brother Chow, you've got guts. You're amazing. If it were us, we wouldn't have dared to stick our necks out in front of Marshal King and the rest." Jiang Chao stood up and smiled. "It's nothing. They're friends. I can't just watch them get into trouble, right? It's the same for everyone." As he said that, Jiang Chao looked around and chuckled. I'm sorry. I couldn't hold it in just now. Disperse. Having said that, Jiang Chao ran like the wind. He did not care anymore. He had sold this favor anyway. Fang Ping and the rest had to accept it. In midair, Fang Ping and the rest were flying together with Zhang Tao. Zhang Tao said quickly, "No matter who owns the Hall of Myriad Origins, it's yours if you insist. Yao Qingjun, if it's possible later, control the Hall of Myriad Origins remotely." "Got it?" Yao Qingjun nodded. "I don't need you to say anything else." "That's it. Don't say anything else." After Zhang Tao said this, Fang Ping thought that it was over. However, in the next moment, Zhang Tao's voice rang in his ears. "When you get back, ask Yao Qingjun to make a trip to the martial artist's side. Remember, there's only one thing to say to the martial artist. If they want to enter the Hall of Myriad Origins in the future, they must participate in the battle. These guys have forgotten that they're martial artists when they're on a sightseeing tour. 3 rank 8s and 9 rank 7s are all here enjoying their retirement. Star City has almost raised them into pigs. Tell them that if they want to enter the Hall of Myriad Origins again, they must participate in the battle. But some of them have comprehended the origin. That's not important. The Hall of Myriad Origins is not only the place where the origin is stored, but it's also their home. Do you understand what I mean? It's already very difficult for them to give up this place. Some of the revived martial artists from the outside world also come back often. In short, the Hall of Myriad Origins represents the combat strength of 6 rank 8s, 28 rank 7s, and dozens of middle-ranked martial artists. I was worried about the lack of manpower now. Now, at least half of them have to come out and participate in the battle. Of course, the method must be gentle. Aren't you good at bluffing? Be gentle and let them take the initiative to participate in the battle. Fan Ping retorted. I never bluff people. Say that again? Fan Ping wanted to say something else but realized that he could not. He cursed in his heart. Old John was really wicked. After a while, everyone returned to the meeting hall. Warlord was already sitting on the bronze throne. Beside him, Legion was also sitting on the throne. Although his seniority was low, he represented the military department, and was also a powerhouse among the top. He would not sit below Warlord. As soon as Zhang Tao entered the room, he immediately found a throne and sat down. Fan Ping and the others stood and waited for a while. This time, it was not only the previous 9 families who had come, but 12 powerhouses had come. Other than Yang Jingjing from the Yang family, the other families had all come. Although the Yang family was still among the 13 families, they did not even have a high-ranked martial artist. Even if they did not say anything, they were not qualified to participate in this anymore. When everyone was present, Legion said, Everyone sit. As soon as he spoke, Fan Ping and the others sat down in 2 rows. Even though the old man from the Li family was Legion's cousin and was a few years older than him, he still waited for the top to speak before taking his seat. After Legion finished speaking, Zhang Tao looked at Yao Qingjun and smiled. I'm a little surprised that the Hall of Myriad Origins is actually yours. Did the 3 palaces in the deepest part of the hall sense your origin? Yao Qingjun glanced at Zhang Tao and lowered his head. I sensed it. One of the palaces sensed it. Zhang Tao nodded with a smile. Then, he asked, Have you considered comprehending the origin? Not yet. There's no rush. It won't be too late even if you reach rank 8 or 9. Since the Hall of Myriad Origins is there, things can't fly away, Warlord said impatiently. All right, it doesn't matter. The Hall of Myriad Origins won't let you take it away. Zhang Tao, if you're not convinced, then talk to the Li family's old geezer. What do you mean, senior? Zhang Tao smiled. The Hall of Myriad Origins was originally ownerless. Since it was brought here by the seniors, it naturally belongs to suppressing Star City. But since the Hall of Myriad Origins has an owner, whether it's to make better use of it or to return it to its rightful owner, shouldn't it be returned to Yao Qingjun? Warlord glanced at him and sneered. Go to Mount Imperial Sea and talk to the Li family's old geezer. It's useless talking to me. I can't be bothered to refute you. Besides, everything you said is one-sided. Even if it really belongs to Yao Qingjun, it's not the current him. Wait until he recovers his memories and returns to that realm. Senior Warlord, are you being unreasonable? Yes, I'm being unreasonable. Zhang Tao was speechless. What should I do when someone is unreasonable? He glanced at Yao Qingjun again. Come, shake the Hall of Myriad Origins and show them. Yao Qingjun gave it a try and shook his head. It was impossible. The distance was too far. Zhang Tao felt a little regretful. Otherwise, shaking it would be good to scare them. Since it didn't work, Zhang Tao asked again. Senior, are you saying that even if the Hall of Myriad Origins is abandoned and ruined, you won't hand it over to Yao Qingjun? That's right, Warlord said bluntly. It wasn't easy to find this thing back then. Over the years, I've invested a lot in those resurrected martial artists, and I'm still hoping to reap some rewards. Of course, it won't do if the effort isn't proportional to the reward. Also, will Yao Qingjun be able to make good use of it if it's given to him? Zhang Tao chuckled. But it's still Yao Qingjun's. It's fine to lend it to star-suppressing city, but isn't it inappropriate for senior to take it away just like that? Li Jun didn't want to hear so much either. He said directly, "There's no point in dwelling on some things. Zhang Tao, tell us your request." Zhang Tao smiled. My request? What request can I have? The Hall of Myriad Origins isn't mine. Yao Qingjun, what request do you have? The Hall of Myriad Origins is still useful in star-suppressing city, but I'm afraid we can't take it back for the time being. Whatever you want, just tell us. It's all up to the department head. Up to me? Zhang Tao smiled. Up to you. I might not be able to meet your expectations. Of course, if there's anything you need to add, you can continue. You can just use my opinion as a reference. Everyone understood what he meant when he said that. Zhang Tao had never intended to take the Hall of Myriad Origins. He was here to extort money. Warlord didn't say much. He closed his eyes and said, "Speak." The Battle of the Forbidden City is about to begin. Besides the Qin, Xin, and Li clans, star-suppressing city will send 3 more rank 9s to assist us. Warlord frowned slightly. After a while he said, I can't represent the other clans. Yuan Hua will participate. Below, Jiang Yuanhua bowed slightly, indicating that he would participate. Zhang Tao raised his brows slightly. After some thought, he said, As for the other 2, no matter who they are, they don't have to go to the Forbidden Catacombs. However, 2 rank 9s will be required to oversee each catacombs for a period of time. We'll send 2 rank 9s from the other 2 catacombs to participate in the battle. Agreed. Warlord agreed without hesitation. He could still make the decision on this matter. As for the other high ranks, send 20 more people. Warlord frowned and said in a low voice, The Battle of Kings is star-suppressing city's main battlefield. If we send too many people, the Battle of Kings will cause problems. I can understand that you want to destroy a catacomb. However, if there are fewer people in the Battle of Kings... Zhang Tao smiled faintly. It's fine. We'll send Fang Ping and the rest into the Battle of Kings. When we come out later, we'll just go and pick them up. Why don't you let Fang Ping and the rest enter the Forbidden Catacombs? Warlord looked displeased. Zhang Tao laughed. The Forbidden Catacombs must be stable. The Battle of Kings must be stable too. Fang Ping. At this moment, Fang Ping was very depressed. What was the meaning of this? What was the meaning of this? Was he being despised? Old Zhang would rather transfer people from star-suppressing city than let him go to the Forbidden Catacombs. He even wanted to send him to the Battle of Kings to fill in the hole. Was old Zhang really on his side? Above, Warlord and Zhang Tao were still talking. After talking for a while, Warlord refused to let Fang Ping and the rest go to the Battle of Kings. Zhang Tao was slightly regretful and lowered his request. Star-suppressing city could only send 10 rank 7 and 8 people to help. Warlord agreed without hesitation. As for how to fill in the hole with 10 people, he did not allow Fang Ping and the rest to go. Otherwise, it might cause a huge reaction and cause the rest of star-suppressing city to die in the Battle of Kings. Fang Ping and the rest listened for a while and understood. Zhang Tao was not extorting them. He did not mention resources or anything like that, nor did he ask for them. He just wanted star-suppressing city to send many powerhouses to help. This was more important than resources. Usually, people from star-suppressing city, other than the Qin, Xin, and Li families, people from the other 9 families usually did not go to the outer region. Instead, they went to the Battle of Kings. In the Forbidden Catacombs battle, star-suppressing city would probably not send out people either. Now, using this as an excuse, they managed to get 3 rank 9s and 10 rank 7s and 8s. It was already beyond their expectations. At this moment, Fang Ping, who was below, glanced at Zhang Tao and suddenly felt a little upset. Martial King. No matter how strong Martial King was, he was the only one who was strong. Netherworld King, Martial King, these two paragons, together with the two guardians, made up a total of 4 paragons. They were the official paragons. However, Zhang Tao was the only one who truly belonged to the civilian class and had nothing to do with star-suppressing city. Fan Ping did not understand Li Jun. He did not really understand him. However, Fan Ping thought that he had some understanding of Zhang Tao. This unreliable Martial King was probably the only paragon among the paragons who cared about everyone's life and death. As for Li Jun, it was hard to say. Maybe he was about the same as Zhang Tao, maybe he was slightly worse. Zhang Tao was shameless to the point that he asked Fan Ping for resources every day. He was shameless to the point that he insisted on killing a few people every time he entered the catacombs. Even the paragons of the catacombs were laughing at him. Did a true king powerhouse not find it embarrassing to do such a thing? To a true king powerhouse, rank 7s were like ants. If he killed a few of them, it would only dirty his own body. Shameless Martial King, Fan Ping muttered in his heart. The paragons did not care about their pride, but did Zhang Tao really get anything? Nothing at all. Martial King is the same as me. We have no selfishness. We only care about humans and others. At this moment, Fan Ping's heart was filled with emotion. I'm very lucky. I came from a martial arts university. I'm very honored to know such a paragon. Similarly, I'm also very proud that I can stand side by side with Martial King. The Minister of Education should take over my position and continue to carry forward the righteousness of serving the public wholeheartedly. Chapter 650. In the meeting hall. Zhang Tao was still talking. As he talked, he suddenly sensed something. He glanced at Fan Ping from the corner of his eye. Seeing the kid staring at him with admiration, old Zhang suddenly shuddered. I'm in a desperate situation. Shuddering? What's this kid thinking now? Zhang Tao was looking at Fan Ping. Warlord glanced at him too. Suddenly, he smiled faintly. Fan Ping, if there's anything you want to say, just say it. I know a little about you. You're a character. What do you want to say? Say it and let me hear it. Fan Ping was all smiles. I don't have anything to say, kid, say it. Warlord snorted and looked at Fan Ping with an unfriendly expression. Your gaze, kid, makes me feel a little uncomfortable. Fan Ping said awkwardly. That, humph! Fan Ping was helpless. I didn't want to say anything. Why do you want me to say it? Since you want me to say it, I'll say it. Fan Ping stood up and did not continue sitting down. With a smile on his face, he said, There's something I don't understand, Senior Warlord. Honestly speaking, other than the Desperation Realm Patriarchs, I'm a little lacking in respect for the others, cough, cough. As soon as he said that, the expressions of the 12 family heads changed slightly. Fan Ping continued, I don't understand. There are so many powerhouses in Star City. There are 50 to 60 high ranks. If we include the resurrected martial artists, I'm afraid there are close to 80 high ranks. Why do so many high-ranked powerhouses keep dying in the Land of Kings? Is the victory of the Land of Kings really more important than the victory of the Outland? Or do people like you think that the Outland is insignificant and the restricted area is the most important? Fan Ping said, then added, But in the Outland, if there are close to 80 high ranks, Senior Warlord, we can save a lot of people. Countless people! You're a paragon, and you're very old. You definitely know more than this kid. I don't have the right to question anyone, and I shouldn't question anyone. I really don't understand. Is the Land of Kings really inseparable? Warlord said lightly. Is it because you're upset? Do you think that your minister is the most powerful, the most selfless? Before Fan Ping could speak, Zhang Tao laughed. Senior Warlord, you flatter me. I don't deserve it, don't deserve it. The War King glanced at him. F***CK, I'm asking a question. Don't you understand my tone? Ignoring Zhang Tao, the warlord pondered for a moment and said, There are indeed some things that you don't understand. Zhang Tao has his way of thinking, and we have ours. We can only say that everyone's choices are different. As soon as he said that, the faces of the 12 patriarchs changed. Warlord was actually explaining things to Fang Ping? Was there a need for a human ancestor who had stood at the pinnacle for several hundred years to explain anything to a brat who hadn't even grown his hair yet? Fang Ping was not qualified. Even Fang Ping himself was a little surprised. Had Warlord taken the wrong medicine? Was he really going to explain to him? He thought that Zhang Xian was going to ignore him. The war monarch smiled faintly and said, "There is no need to be surprised. We noticed that you and the people beside you are acting strangely. You guys shouldn't be reincarnated martial artists from the era of sections. If he guessed correctly, he might be a martial arts practitioner from the ancient martial era who had been resurrected, or a martial arts practitioner from the intersection point between the end of the ancient martial era and the beginning of the era of sex. Actually, judging from the refining methods of the Hall of Myriad Origins, he should be someone from that era. It's hard to say who he is, but he might be from the same era as the Devil Emperor, Unquestionable Jian. You guys must have seen the Devil Emperor, Unquestionable Jian, in the Hall of Myriad Origins. He should have been active during the Qin and Han dynasties. The Qin and Han dynasties were the end of the ancient martial era. The era of sex can actually be traced back to the Han and Tang dynasties. During the Han and Tang dynasties, myths had already been extinguished. At that point in time, most of the ancient martial artists had already disappeared. Since then, we have entered the era of sex. This person, Unquestionable Jian, has lived through 2 eras. You guys might understand him better in the future. He once participated in a battle that destroyed the world. Our speculation is that this battle was the one at the Battle of the Imperial Battleground. For now, there is no clear evidence to prove this. He said that he was a deserter, so he might be the survivor of this battle. 1,000 years later, he reappeared, gathered all the powerhouses of the current era, and single-handedly directed the destruction of the era of sex. This person has lived through 2 eras and witnessed the destruction of 2 eras. He is the true epic. I know you guys want to ask about the battle 1,000 years ago. I will tell you guys. Let's not talk about this for now. At this moment, Fang Ping and the others were listening attentively. Old Yao and the others' identities in their past lives seemed to be coming out soon. The intersection of 2 eras. It might be at the end of the ancient martial era and the beginning of the era of sex. This point should be in the pre-Qin era. Whether it was or not, they would talk about it later. Warlord continued, "I'm saying all this just to make one point clear. You guys are different from the group of resurrected martial artists outside. If you guys are really resurrected from the ancient martial era, then it means that you guys are very powerful. If you guys could cultivate to that level in your past life, you can do it in this life too. In the future, maybe you guys will be eating from the same pot as us." When he said this, he saw Qin Fengqing looking at him happily. He smiled and said, "This does not include this young friend. Don't pretend to be a resurrected martial artist next time. Being a resurrected martial artist is not necessarily a good thing." Qin Fengqing's expression stiffened. The 12 patriarchs looked at him one after another. Su Haoran and the others were livid. "Didn't you say that you sensed your life origin?" Qin Fengqing looked gloomy. "Why are you looking at me? Did I pretend to be a resurrected martial artist? I only said that I might be, but I didn't say that I definitely am." "Really, you guys even deliberately exposed me." Warlord ignored him and continued, "Since we might become paragons, then some things need to be said, lest you guys think that Star Town doesn't do proper things." Fang Ping hurriedly said, "Senior, I really didn't mean that. You guys have been guarding Imperial Sea Mountain for hundreds of years. Such a great achievement, even the ministers can't compare." Zhang Tao suddenly had an impulse. Should he kill this thing? Fang Ping immediately added, "We can't even compare to 1 in 100 million. Warlord chuckled. "Don't give me that. I've lived for hundreds of years. What haven't I seen? Zhang Tao and the rest of the younger generation can't compare to us. Zhang Tao sighed. Sure enough, flattery would never work. Back to the topic. About 90 years ago. Is that right? Zhang Tao calculated and said, more or less. 90 years ago, Star Town's 13 paragons had an internal disagreement. Warlord's tone was a little bleak as he said, that year, the catacombs outskirts were rioting. We were guarding Imperial Sea Mountain, but Shenhaotian couldn't hold it in and attacked the outskirts. That time, a battle between the paragons broke out. The Hall of True Kings sent 19 True Kings and fought against the 13 of us from Star Town. After that battle, Shenhaotian and Shingang were heavily injured. Old Devilly fought 1 against 3, heavily injuring 1 and ending the battle. In short, that battle made everyone waver, unwilling, and powerless. Therefore, after that battle, there was a disagreement within Star Town. Shenhaotian and Shingang decided to start the Neo-Martial Era and end the Star Town Era. That's how the East and North Guardians came into being. That's how the martial arts universities came into being, and that's how the Neo-Martial Era came into being. Therefore, Zhang Tao is just a fart. Don't be fooled by him. The one who really started the Neo-Martial Era wasn't Zhang Tao or Li Jin, but Qin Gang and Shenhaotian. Zhang Tao was speechless. Nonsense! I wasn't even born then. He was not even 90 years old this year. Of course, he was not the one who started the Neo-Martial Era. Of course, Zhang Tao being able to enter the Paragon is still beyond our expectations. Actually, to be able to create a Paragon in less than 90 years, we have already achieved our expectations and exceeded our imagination. Not only that, Nenyunwa seems to be coming soon. Both of you. Chen Gang and the others' Neo-Martial Arts Era is a success. Now, some of us actually agree that the emergence of the Neo-Martial Arts Era has changed too much. Chen Gang and Shenhaotian are meritorious. As for the rumors in the outside world, it's because of Li Jin that these two became guardians. This is also true. However, both of them did not become guardians previously because they did not care. You make it sound like Li Jin started the Neo-Martial Arts Era. This is unfair to Qin and Shin. This kid Li Jin is really shameless. He even dares to take this credit. Li Jin really could not stand it anymore. It was fine to talk to old acquaintances. There were still a few young people from martial arts universities here. Old Jiang, I have never said that I started the Neo-Martial Arts Era. The two progenitors are not willing to show their faces in public and are not willing to be discussed by others. I can't possibly announce this to the world, can I? Li Jin felt a little helpless. Why did he encounter so many troubles recently? Was it necessary for him to steal the credit of the two progenitors? Warlord sneered and did not say anything. He continued, This is the philosophy of Qin, Shin, Li, and Zhang. Everyone is like a dragon. The sea rises to the top to fight against the catacombs. However, this dream is too far away and too difficult. However, there are results. The threat from the outer lands has indeed been quelled a lot. Therefore, they conquered the outer lands in order to seize more resources, cultivate more martial artists, and produce more powerhouses. Fan Ping and the others understood. So that was how it was. As for the remaining 11 of us, including the Li family's old ghost, our philosophy is different from theirs. Our idea is to continue moving forward. Walk to the top. We stare at the king battlefield, at the boundaries. We only have one goal. That is to walk a new path and step into the Emperor realm. That is the Catacombs Demon Monarch realm. As long as we step into the Emperor realm, we can quell the threat from the Catacombs. Whether it is 13 paragons, which is easier, or a few dozen paragons from millions of martial artists, is easier. The benevolent see the benevolent, the wise see the wise. They have their ideas, and we have ours. Everyone has their own duties. If you do not see the people from Star City in the outer lands, it does not mean that Star City does not contribute. What is the purpose of conquering the king battlefield? It is not for them to enter the top themselves, but for us. We need them to investigate some things for us and seize some things. Because it is inconvenient for us to move on our own, everyone in Star City is actually our pathfinders. Everyone understands this as well. At this moment, Warlord spoke frankly and did not hide anything. He chuckled and said, Fan Ping, if you were to choose, which path do you think is more suitable? Fan Ping hesitated for a moment and said, Walking on two legs, can I do that? Everyone's energy is limited, including us. Warlord sighed and said, If it was not for Li Jin and Zhang Tao sharing the burden for Qingang and the others, they would have led the neo-martial era for the past 30 years. However, in that environment, who knows how many years humans could waste? It took close to 100 years for the neo-martial era to achieve the current results. Moreover, we indeed have two legs now. We do not care what Zhang Tao and the others do. We have our reasons for doing what we do. So, do you understand now? Fan Ping nodded and asked, Then in the king battlefield and the boundaries, are there definitely opportunities to break through to the top? It's hard to say. I can only say that there is still hope. Warlord smiled and said, So, when you really reach the impasse, you will actually be faced with a choice. But now, it seems that Zhang Tao and the others are still better at bluffing. It seems that you already have a choice. Zhang Tao laughed and said, Senior Warlord, you can't say that. How is it bluffing? Reality has proven everything. The glory of the neo-martial era is also a clear proof. Also, since you have already said it, I will say a few more words. You think that after becoming a monarch, you will destroy the catacombs so that humans will no longer be troubled by war. However, to be more realistic, there are a few seniors in Star City who do not think this way. So, we can only walk our own path. It is better to rely on ourselves than others. Having said that, he looked at Fan Ping and the others and said, Today, Senior Warlord and I have shared some things with everyone. Just listen and don't think about it until you reach the top. If that day really comes, you will make your own choice. No one can change it. At this point, Warlord also opened his mouth and said, Indeed. Having said that, he added, If you have any questions, you can ask now. If I can tell you, I will tell you according to the circumstances. As for the Hall of Myriad Origins, you can't take it away now. We still have use for it. When Fan Ping heard that he could ask questions, he immediately asked excitedly, Senior, how old are you this year? Warlord's expression stiffened. Zhang Tao also scolded. Ask about serious matters. For example, the situation of the bounded boundaries, the situation of the war 1,000 years ago, the origin of the bounded boundaries, the origin of the king battleground. You can ask more about these. There was no other reason, because he was not too clear himself. He was too young, that was the truth. He was not even 90 years old, and had only been at the top for a few years. All these years, these old antiques did not tell him much about these things, so he felt a little helpless. It's good to live long. Look at them, they know everything, but I don't. Now, I have to take this opportunity to listen in. Fan Ping felt a little helpless. I still want to ask more. However, from what Zhang Tao said, some things should not be asked. After all, it involves some private matters of the top. It might not be a good thing to ask. Fan Ping suppressed the curiosity in his heart, and repeated old Zhang's words. Warlord laughed and said slowly, It's not that I can't tell you, but it's a long story and I'm too lazy to say it. How about this? All these years, we've also made some records. You can go back and see for yourselves. You can't leave Imperial Sea Mountain for too long. As he said that, a stack of animal skin books appeared in Warlord's hand out of thin air. These are some records we made in our spare time, including some of our speculations. You can take it back and read it. Try not to leak it. Some things are not good for you to leak. If you're not strong enough, what's the use of knowing? The animal skin books flew through the air and landed in front of Fan Ping. Fan Ping hurriedly took them, suppressed his desire to read them, and said hurriedly, Thank you for explaining. It's good to know some things. All of you are very lucky. All these years, we've also been under a lot of pressure. The more you know, the more pressure you'll feel. Normal people might not be able to bear it. As Warlord said that, he looked at Yao Qingjun again and said, "When you're stronger, you can come to the Hall of Myriad Origins again. There are some things on the dome of the Hall of Myriad Origins. We didn't force it open because we were afraid of damaging the Hall of Myriad Origins. If it's used well, the Hall of Myriad Origins might be able to help some people advance quickly. However, you're still a little lacking now. I'm afraid it'll be difficult for you to do so. Star Town won't always occupy the Hall of Myriad Origins. I can guarantee this. Lastly, I still have to say this. Zhang Tao is not a good person. Don't learn from him." As soon as he finished speaking, Warlord disappeared on the spot. Zhang Tao's expression did not change. As for how he cursed in his heart, no one cared. Li Zhen's expression did not change, but he must be very happy. Zhang Tao was indeed not a good person. When Warlord left, Fan Ping and the others knew that the matter had come to an end. Warlord had promised Star Town to help in the battle against the Forbidden Catacombs. He had also told them some things, including some information that Fan Ping wanted. It could be said that this trip to Star Town had been a success. Not only had it been a success, but it had also exceeded the quota. Fan Ping was quite satisfied. As for old Zhang, he was sure that he was satisfied too. If Warlord did not make a few remarks about him, he would probably be even more satisfied. They left, but Zhang Tao and Li Zhen were not people who had nothing to do. Li Zhen disappeared in the blink of an eye without saying goodbye. Zhang Tao, on the other hand, called out, "We'll come and take the Hall of Myriad Origins when we reach rank 8 or 9. It's hard to take it now, and it won't be of much use even if we take it. Also, make a copy of the information and send it to the Education Ministry." After saying that, Zhang Tao disappeared quickly as well. The 12 family heads looked at each other. At this moment, they were still a little surprised and shocked. The Warlord Patriarch had told Fan Ping and the others many things this time, even with a hint of explanation. The reason for this was because he felt that Fan Ping and the others did not seem to like Star Town. Did Warlord think so highly of them? Resurrected people from the ancient martial era. At this moment, the few of them also thought of this and could not help but look at Fan Ping and the others. These people were actually not in the same group as Hui Hong's group. The real martial artists from the ancient martial era. They were shocked, and so was Fan Ping. After a while, he whispered, "Old Zhang, didn't extort me?" Wang Jinyang felt helpless. "Are you addicted to being extorted? Moreover, Zhang Tao didn't come here to extort you. He only came to ask Star Town to send people to help in the battle. Moreover, do you still have anything on you that has been extorted? The Battle of Sky Gate City just ended, and I only extorted a sum of money from you. You haven't gained much from coming to Star Town, and you haven't fattened up yet." Fan Ping muttered, not paying much attention to it. The information in his hands disappeared into thin air, stored in his storage space. The ease with which he could obtain these things had far exceeded his expectations. The next moment, Fan Ping was just about to return home when he suddenly thought of something. He immediately said to the various patriarchs, "Seniors, my words just now were a little offensive, but Senior Warlord's words have made me completely understand. Different paths, but the same goal. This is something that I have deeply felt before. This junior apologizes to seniors." Fan Ping's face was full of respect, which made Su Haoren and the others feel much better. "At least you know what's good for you." Fan Ping apologized and quickly added, "Also, I want to go to the valley again." Everyone was on their guard. Fan Ping explained, "We want to communicate with those resurrected martial artists. Since Warlord and Minister have said that the Hall of Myriad Origins will stay in Star Town, we definitely won't take it away now." Su Haoren felt a headache coming on. "Fan Ping, that's enough!" Martial King declared his sovereignty before he left. You don't have to repeat it again and again. These things are decided by the elders, and we can't change it. As for the few of you, he really wanted to say, "Get lost." After thinking for a while, he decided not to say it. "Forget it, you guys can stay a little longer, lest you say that we didn't treat you well. However, before the sky turned dark, these bastards must be chased away. They must not stay the night. Chapter 651. Coming out of the meeting hall, Qing Fengqing said softly, "I'm going to the city." Fan Ping looked at him and raised his eyebrows slightly. "Don't go overboard." "Am I that kind of person?" "Yes." Qing Fengqing was speechless. After thinking for a while, he said, "At least get me 2 divine weapons. I'm so poor now. At most, I'll return them when I reach rank 8. Anyway, they probably haven't reached rank 7 when I reach rank 8. As soon as he said that, everyone looked at him. "You're so confident. Where does your confidence come from?" Qin Fengqing did not care about all this at all. He said seriously, "Anyway, in their hands now, it's almost the same as an A-grade alloy weapon. I'll borrow it first. When I reach rank 8, I won't need it anymore. Then I'll return it to them. Don't you think this is the best use of resources?" Then, he added, "I also need a few divine accumulation fruits. Dark moon grass would be the best. That should be enough." Li Hansong was speechless. "Do you really think it's a resource fault for you to raise your cultivation? What if you lose?" The bet wasn't just about winning. If Qin Fengqing lost, where would he get the life essence to give to others? Qin Fengqing looked at Fan Ping. Fan Ping ignored him. Qin Fengqing considered for a moment, then said, 30, 70. You take 30, I'll take 70. After all, I have to go on stage and do the hard work." Qin Fengqing's face was full of grief and indignation. He gritted his teeth and said, 50-50, that's enough." Fan Ping glanced at him and said slowly, "Don't go overboard. Just go about it. A divine weapon, 3 divine accumulation fruits, and a stalk of dark moon grass should be enough for you to reach the unity of essence and blood. If you really lose, you'll have to find a way to pay me back. This time, I won't write an IOU. If you can't pay me back, then I'll sell you to Polaris City. They don't mind having a peak rank 6 marry into their family." Qin Fengqing's face was full of grief and indignation. "You really want to sell me?" However, he had no money. Without money, he couldn't complete the bet with others. If he really lost and couldn't produce anything, he probably wouldn't be able to leave star-suppressing city. Considering all this, Qin Fengqing said helplessly, "All right. Then let's go to the valley first. Hurry up, can't you see that those old men can't wait to drive us away?" "Got it." Fan Ping said a few words and left the meeting hall under the escort of Liu Mo and the rest, heading toward the ravine. "Yes, escort." Su Haoran and the other rank 9s were too embarrassed to follow them. They kept their eyes on them. However, in order to prevent any accidents, he still sent 2 rank 8s and 2 rank 7s to escort them there. As for Qin Fengqing, he was also escorted by a rank 7. It might be more appropriate to escort him. On the bluestone path, Fan Ping did not fly. He walked slowly along the bluestone path, smiling as he walked. "Old Li, have you fully recovered from your injuries?" Liu Mo wanted to ignore him, but after some thought he said, "I've recovered. I forgot to ask. Are you at the peak of rank 8? This was not confidential, so Liu Mo did not hide it. He replied, "It's peak rank 8. You should have some understanding of rank 8. Rank 8 mainly cultivated the golden body. The strength of the golden body represented the level of the realm. The strength of the golden body could generally be measured by the limit of qi and blood it could withstand. Therefore, rank 8 mainly depended on the strength of the golden body forging. The golden body required qi, blood, mind, and imperishable substance to be forged over and over again. Strictly speaking, 9 times was the limit of the golden body. When the golden body was forged 9 times, the human body had also reached a limit. At this time, one could seek the path and walk on their own martial arts path." Fan Ping frowned slightly. "Old Li, this is different from what MC Mayu said." Fan Ping was no longer a rookie. He understood these things very well. He said, MC Mayu's saying that there is no such thing as 9 refinements. The vitality limit represents the strength of the golden body. However, MC Mayu does not distinguish the number of times of forging. When vitality reaches 100,000 calories, that is the limit of rank 8. Liemo laughed. The so-called 9 refinements is just a saying. It doesn't mean that one must forge the golden body 9 times. I'm talking about a theoretical limit. You should know by now that ancient martial artists should have a few directions, not just one. Some major in the physique, some major in mentality, and some do both at the same time. Among them, there are those who specialize in the unification of 10,000 paths. Speaking of unification of 10,000 paths, Liemo said, unification of 10,000 paths is not to major in the physique. It seems to be similar to major in the physique, but in fact, it is a specialized cultivation process. For example, majoring in the physique is equivalent to studying cultural studies. Majoring in one subject, but you still have to study the other subjects. However, if you specialize, you will only study the subject you choose and not learn anything else. Can you understand what I'm saying? Fang Ping laughed. I understand. It's very vivid. In that case, unification of 10,000 paths is actually still different from major in the physique. Yes, there is a difference. Liemo explained again. This is not what I said. In fact, Polaris City does not understand the unification of 10,000 paths. This is what elder ancestors who said. Back then, after the youth competition, after the incident, Polaris City was also shocked by the unification of 10,000 paths. Therefore, after elder ancestor Su returned, he asked for some advice. Only then did he know some of the differences. Unification of 10,000 paths, giving up everything else, is even more terrifying than the ancient martial artists who major in the physique. Liemo explained for a while and said again. Therefore, the saying of 9 refinements is actually suitable for martial artists at the unification of 10,000 paths. Li Changxing can complete the 9 refinements. At rank 8, he can forge an even stronger golden body. However, he can't give birth to imperishable substances, so this is another contradiction. The limit of his physique is probably only at the point where he can withstand 100,000 vitality. At that time, he must step onto the origin road. Rank 9 martial artists, the strength of their physique may not be much stronger than rank 8, unless they are at the peak. Ordinary rank 9 martial artists, even if they understand the origin path, will continue to forge their physiques, but the difference between them and rank 8 is not too big. If they really complete the 9 refinements of the golden body, rank 8 martial artists may be able to rely on the strength of their physique to compete with those who are not at the peak. 9 refinements is a legend. Modern martial artists, under normal circumstances, they are strong and weak. At the peak of rank 7, the moment the golden body completes the guidance, the vitality can reach 50,000 calories. I'm talking about when the golden body completes the guidance. At this time, they have actually stepped into rank 8. Therefore, it can also be said that the beginning of rank 8 is vitality 50,000 calories. 50,000 to 60,000 vitality, this belongs to early stage rank 8. During this process, when we complete the second golden body, the first is the direct guidance. 60,000 to 70,000 calories, this belongs to middle stage rank 8, this is the third golden body. 70,000 to 80,000 calories, this is upper stage rank 8, this is the fourth golden body. 80,000 to 90,000 calories, this is peak rank 8, this is also the fifth golden body. However, some people are talented. At this time, they can still continue to forge the golden body. If they do not step on the origin path, then they can continue to forge the sixth golden body. At this time, the vitality limit is 100,000 calories. With a 100,000 calories vitality limit, at the sixth golden body to enter rank 9, among the rank 9, they will also be powerhouses. Wu Quishan was like this, Li Changxing will probably be like this too. Li Changxing used vitality to forge to that point. Therefore, this also causes peak rank 8 to have strong and weak rank 8. This also causes early stage rank 9 to have strong and weak rank 9. It is not simply a matter of the rank 9 origin path understanding. Liamo said a lot, Fang Ping suddenly realized and said. Then, 7 or 8 times of forging won't do? Yes, but again, you don't have enough imperishable substance. With this time, you might have entered rank 9 for a long time. Liamo sighed softly. The biggest limitation of modern martial artists is the problem of the imperishable substance. Fan Ping, I heard that you want to find ancient martial arts cultivation methods. If you really find a cultivation method that can cultivate imperishable substance, then you will be a great hero to mankind. If that is the case, there will be a lot more high-ranked martial artists in an instant. Moreover, all high-ranked martial artists will enter a period of rapid improvement. Especially rank 8 martial artists. There are actually many rank 8 martial artists now. But everyone is limited by the imperishable substance, unable to cross the threshold quickly. Oldly, Star Town's patriarch really did not find any ancient martial arts cultivation methods? But as far as I know, Commander Lee and the others have entered the bounded boundaries before? Indeed, they did not find it. Liamo pondered for a moment, looked at the few Star Town martial artists beside him, and said, Since Patriarch Jiang has given you the information, you will find out soon. Star Town has been to the bounded boundaries before, but those who went were the half-crippled kind. The ones that are truly well-preserved are actually the ones that no one has entered. The Tian'an catacombs is actually well-preserved. Liamo said in a low voice, and continued, These half-crippled bounded boundaries have cultivation methods, but there is no cultivation method that cultivates mentality. The patriarchs speculate that mentality cultivation methods should not be passed down through ancient books, but Fan Ping's face was full of anticipation, and Liamo did not disappoint him. After a moment of silence, he said slowly, Mentality cultivation methods should be the foundation of some bounded boundaries. Therefore, the cultivation method inheritance will not be passed down, but passed down in a way similar to the origin path inheritance. Mini-movies! Fan Ping suddenly realized something and shouted. At this moment, the few of them stopped in their tracks. Fan Ping, however, did not care about them, and murmured, I understand now. I really understand now. If mentality cultivation methods are passed down in a way similar to the origin path, then it is an exclusive mini-movie, the same model as when the Vice-Chancellor watched Rose City Lord's origin last time. As for the bounded boundaries, the bounded boundaries have this kind of inheritance. I think I know now. It should be that powerful origin. So that's how it is. In the crippled bounded boundaries, maybe this origin has already dissipated, or maybe it is unable to pass down cultivation methods. However, the bounded boundaries that are still well preserved now, that powerful origin still exists, so it can be passed down. And if you want to obtain cultivation methods, you can only go to these bounded boundaries that are well preserved. Also, I suspect that the cultivation methods of each clan might be slightly different. Some people mainly cultivate mentality, some mainly cultivate the flesh, some cultivate both, some unite DAOs. If you want to find the exclusive cultivation method of unite DAOs, it will also depend on luck. Liamo gave him a strange look, and said after a while, You are very smart. The patriarchs actually said something similar. Fan Ping said modestly, It's just SOSO, Oldly, you flatter me. After Fan Ping was done being humble, he chuckled and said, Oldly, in that case, the patriarchs actually did not obtain this kind of inheritance, right? Should be. Liamo thought for a while and added, Actually, there is also a possibility that the patriarchs obtained an incomplete inheritance. This kind of incomplete cultivation method caused the patriarchs to be unable to pass it down, or should I say, copy it. Many people have this kind of speculation, so I don't mind telling you. Fan Ping, if you can find a complete cultivation method and completely popularize it, all of humanity will be grateful to you. Fan Ping smiled bitterly. Old Li's expectations of me are really high. Even the Paragon patriarchs did not get it, even I don't believe that I can get it. Liamo said with a faint smile. It's hard to say, the the few of you, have entered the bounded boundaries before. You must know, the bounded boundaries are not a place that anyone can enter. The last time we went to Tiannan, we were not sure if we could enter. Patriarch Yang's idea was to let a resurrected martial artist try to attack. Among those who died in the battle last time, there were resurrected martial artists. However, that batch of resurrected martial artists 1,000 years ago were only some intergenerational successors of the bounded boundaries. Whether they could do it or not, it's hard to say. You guys are different, if you are that batch of people from the King Battleground. Actually, you can match up, you guys can enter. Even if you can't obtain the inheritance now, when you reach rank 9 and understand the origin, the possibility is very high. Having said that, Liemo continued, this is also one of the reasons why old ancestor Jiang gave you the information. If there are no accidents, some well-preserved bounded boundaries will be introduced in the information. Actually, the old ancestors still hope that you guys can enter, including King Wu and the others. Therefore, at this stage, no one wants to see you guys fall, but wait for you guys to reach rank 9, enter the bounded boundaries, and obtain the cultivation method. Fan Ping's heart skipped a beat. It seemed that there were some things that everyone knew, but they did not say it out loud. Perhaps the last time they returned from the bounded boundaries, Qin Fengqing, this guy showed an unusual behavior, and Zhang Tao had probably already guessed it. This batch of people was not in the same group as the previous resurrected martial artists. This time, Old Yao and the Hall of Myriad Origins reacted, which further confirmed this point. Therefore, Warlord gave them more information. Zhang Tao's meaning was also very clear. In the upcoming battles, it was best for Fan Ping and the others not to participate, and to cultivate in peace. When they reached rank 9, perhaps they could enter the bounded boundaries and obtain the inheritance. Sure enough, when martial artists reached this realm, there were not many who were fools. Everyone had their own guesses, but they did not say it out loud. Also, those people 1,000 years ago were indeed related to the bounded boundaries. Intergenerational descendants. Perhaps it was more appropriate to say that they were the Earth branch? The real elites of the bounded boundaries might have all died in battle in the King Battlegrounds. Back then, Earth might have been the outer sect of some bounded boundaries. After the battle in the King Battlegrounds ended, the elites of the bounded boundaries were completely annihilated, and these outer sect disciples might have lost their inheritance. Fan Ping vaguely had a rough idea of what happened 1,000 years ago. When he went back and compared it with the information on the information, he could more or less come to a conclusion. The history of martial arts has been completely revealed to me. Fan Ping exhaled in his heart. The reason why he wanted to trace all these was not just for the history, but to obtain more useful information, to obtain some things that he wanted. After chatting with Liemo along the way, when they arrived at the valley again, Fan Ping suddenly looked at Liemo, smiled, and said, Old Li, will you consider going to MCMAU to teach for a period of time? Liemo stared at him blankly, speechless for a while. Fan Ping chuckled. After staying in Suppressing Star City for so many years, aren't you bored at all? I think Old Li is probably bored of the King Battlegrounds. Also, if you don't reach rank 9, you can't go to the core area. The world is very big, and very exciting. 108 outer territories. How many of them has Old Li been to? Have you ever experienced the limitless scenery of the outer territories? Going to the bounded boundaries for a walk, going to the royal city to take a look, going to the forbidden lands for a spin, seeing different royal city, different outer territories, seeing different guardian monster plants and monsters, competing with different royal city lords. This is life. In the King Battlegrounds, fighting with rank 8 catacombs martial artists, fighting back and forth, I think those people are also the same. You can't kill me, I can't kill you, I'm afraid they fought until they want to vomit. Only by going to more places can they better understand their own martial arts heart and embark on a martial arts path that belongs to them. Senior Warlord and the others have needs. They need you to find information and opportunities for them to take a higher step. But if you don't reach rank 9, can you really help the old ancestors? Old Li came out for a spin. Maybe he could reach rank 9 soon, then return to the king battlegrounds. That would be more useful. There are many powerhouses in Star Town, but doesn't Oldly feel oppressed and limited? Look at the outside world. Minister Zhang is at the peak, and Minister Nan is close. There are more and more rank 9 martial artists. Vice-Chancellor Wu entered rank 9. Guardian Wu became a guardian at a young age. General Tian also entered rank 9. Others like Commander Guo also entered rank 9 one after another. Oldly was someone who fought with the old Vice-Chancellor back then. If the old Vice-Chancellor was not too seriously injured, he might have entered rank 9 many years ago. Now looking back, don't you have any regrets, Oldly? Liemo was speechless. Did he have regrets? Of course he did. Were there no powerhouses in Star Town who did not have regrets? In this life, Star Town, King Battlegrounds, Star Town, and so on and so forth. 108 outer territories. How many have been to them? The limitless scenery of the outer territories, how many have they experienced? Not to mention the catacombs, the human world. Sino Nation is so big, how many places have they been to? When they were young, they even went out to explore. Now that they are old, it seems like they have not gone out for many years. The last time they went out was to MC Mayu, and it was because of the juniors. Beside them, the other 3 people's eyes were also flickering. Fang Ping smiled. Of course, the King Battlegrounds still need manpower. If there are fewer people, it will also cause pressure on the other seniors. But the younger generation is also growing. Jian Hao, Su Ziyu, and the others are also gradually becoming stronger. Li Fei and the others are also constantly improving. I think Jiang Chao is not too far away from rank 7. That includes some resurrected martial artist seniors. Actually, they don't have to stay in Star Town and go to the King Battlegrounds to explore. Maybe they don't have the qualifications, but I think that if the venerable progenitors speak up, it's not impossible for one person to exchange for another. The small Star Town is heaven and hell at the same time. Would high-ranked powerhouses be willing to stay here for the rest of their lives? If they are not high-ranked, it will be dangerous to go out. This is understandable. The younger generation is still young. It is normal to cultivate to rank 6 before going out. But the seniors are not young anymore. Fang Ping sighed. 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. An ordinary person's lifetime will pass. At this time, there were already many resurrected martial artists gathering around. Fang Ping sighed again. Day after day, staying in Star Town all day long is indeed safe. However, cultivating martial arts to this level is just for retirement? To cultivate one's character? Martial arts must fight! In the outside world, which martial artist does not know this saying? Which martial artist does not understand that martial arts must fight? Therefore, in the neo-martial era, 100 flowers bloomed, powerhouses emerged continuously, and batches of seniors shed their blood. Even if they died in the catacombs, they would still be praised by future generations. Countless years later, some people remembered the 2 guardians who started the neo-martial era. Some people remembered the 3 ministers who led the neo-martial era to glory. Some people remembered MC Mayu's old vice-chancellor and other seniors who sacrificed themselves. Some people remembered Axe King and the others who died in battle in Tiannan, however, dying of old age in Star Town. How many people would know? Did martial artists live for fame and fortune? No! It was not for fame and fortune. However, in one's lifetime, cultivating to a high rank in the outside world, everyone could be called a grandmaster. However, could some high-ranked martial artists be called grandmasters? High-ranked martial artists, that's what some people call them, not some grandmaster. I'm not talented. I'm only 20 years old, but I can still earn the reputation of Grandmaster Fang. I'm very proud, very proud. Fang Ping looked around and looked at Hui Hong and the others. He smiled and said, Master Hui Hong, when you go out, will anyone call you Grandmaster Hui Hong? Mr. Zihu, what about you? Someone like Old Li can still be called a Grandmaster when he fights in the Land of Kings, but the few of you. I've overstepped my boundaries. Let me say something from the bottom of my heart. Have any of you called me that before? Don't tell me that we don't even want to leave a trace in this lifetime? A martial artist should live a carefree life. Everyone should know that I am a grandmaster. Fighting for fame, but not for fame and fortune. Fang Ping's voice grew louder. He said clearly, years later, even if I really die in battle in the catacombs, there will still be people who will know that Grandmaster Fang Ping once fought for humanity and killed countless enemies in the catacombs. Even if I die, I'll be content and have no regrets. Years later, who will remember all of you? Resurrected martial artists. Everyone, people like you, in the eyes of the higher-ups, in the eyes of the powerhouses, have no name. There's only one synonym: resurrected martial artists. The living are actually not as good as the dead. Although they're alive, although they've lived to a high rank, they don't even leave behind a name. Hui Hong. Hui Hong is a figure from 1,000 years ago. He's so alive that he doesn't even have his own name. Resurrected martial artists actually want to borrow the name of their past lives. Ridiculous and sad. I'm Fang Ping, he's Wang Jinyang, he's Li Han Song, he's Yao Qingjun. We've lived for ourselves, Fang Ping said loudly. Who in the outside world doesn't know us? Who would treat us as figures from our past lives? We live for ourselves, not for our past lives. I don't want others to only know that there was a resurrected martial artist who lived and died without even leaving behind a name after I die. As Fang Ping said that, Hui Hong and the others' faces flushed. Fang Ping said loudly again, Master Hui Hong, do you have your own name? Or do you only remember that you're Monk Hui Hong, the abbot of Eternal Peace Temple from 1,000 years ago? Monk Hui Hong's expression changed drastically. He said in a low voice, I'm Hui Xingquan. I have a surname, I'm Hui Xingquan. I'm Fei Zihu, I'm Guan Fu. Scholar Zihu also looked like he was struggling. The crowd gradually became restless. When Lian Mo and the others saw this scene, their faces went blank. Something big had happened. Far away, Su Haoran let out a long sigh, murmuring, We've led the wolf into the house. We've led the wolf into the house. This kind of guy shouldn't be allowed to take a step into Star Town. He's better at talking than Martial King, and he can stir people's hearts. I'm afraid our Star Town is going to be in chaos. Hurry up and chase him away. He's still instigating the resurrected martial artist now. Once he enters the city and instigates our clan's disciples. Yes, hurry up and chase him away. My grandson is still young and has just entered rank 4. He's been making a fuss about going out. If he's instigated, hurry up and chase him away. Words are like knives. Hui Hong and the others don't have much experience. I'm afraid they're going to fall into a trap. Many of the family heads heaved a long sigh. Star Town had really made a mistake this time. The mistake was that they should not have invited these guys into the city. It was a huge mistake. They had always let the resurrected martial artists do whatever they wanted. They let them come and go as they pleased. Many of these people had lived in Star Town for their entire lives. They were not stupid, but they were really much more naive than the martial artists in the outside world. If Fang Ping's words were said to old foxes like Wu Quishan, it would be fine if they just listened. They probably would not take it seriously. However, if he said these things to Hui Hong and the others, they would really get into trouble. At this moment, Su Haoran, who was the first to invite Fang Ping and the others, was really regretting it. He should not have been so talkative. Chapter 652. In the Valley. The atmosphere became more and more restless. A middle-ranked martial artist said in a muffled voice, Although we're not high-ranked martial artists, we're willing to live as we are. Even if he couldn't leave his name in history, he didn't want to waste his life. Mr. Fang, I haven't been in the mortal world for a long time. It's time to go out. Fang Ping smiled. If you're interested, you can go to MCMAU to teach. Of course, I don't recommend martial artists below the high ranks to go to MCMAU. It's not that I'm looking down on the seniors, but the middle ranks are relatively more dangerous. Of course, if you really want to go, Fan Ping welcomes you. Seniors, you don't have to participate in any battles. I, Fan Ping, can guarantee this. Teaching and educating people is also contributing to mankind. Fan Ping said in a clear voice. Can martial artists only live by fighting? No, that's not it. If you teach well and produce a group of genius martial artists, a group of experts who can contribute to humanity, then you will have done a great service to humanity. There were tens of thousands of MCMAU students, but less than 1,000 instructors. Among these 1,000 people, there were still hundreds of people guarding the catacombs. There were less than 300 martial artists who had the time to teach. With such a small number of people, this is teaching martial arts. There can be no mistakes. A person's energy is limited, and he still has to cultivate. Is it really okay for one person to teach dozens of students? Fan Ping sighed softly. In MCMAU, many things are taught. There were liberal arts and martial arts. For example, in terms of understanding of the history of martial arts, could the MCMAU instructors compare to the seniors? Aspiring martial artists and low-ranked martial artists honed their bones and honed their bodies. Could it be that the seniors could not teach them this? The indifferent personalities of the seniors made them more suitable to teach students. Some of our teachers are used to killing, so they lack patience. When students have questions that they don't understand, they would often ask at once. If they ask it again, they would be reprimanded. But what about the seniors? Although I don't know much about you seniors, seeing how peaceful this place is, I presume that you seniors are also warm people. It would be a pity if such a person wasn't a teacher. Fan Ping lamented. Fighting isn't the only thing a martial artist can do. Everyone has their own role, and gold will always shine. When you nurture a grandmaster, a supreme expert, what kind of pride would you have? What kind of achievement was this? Martial arts universities were all-inclusive, and 100 flowers blossomed. If they were interested in researching the production of pills or the forging of weapons, they could find like-minded friends in martial arts universities to research together. Seniors should have some understanding of the spirit recovery pill. Even now, humans are unable to concoct it. If someone were to research this kind of medicinal pill and improve it, what kind of great achievement would that be? Fan Ping sighed. It's a pity that we're short on manpower. This kind of work is really suitable for all of you seniors. Walking out of Startown, forgetting the past, and living a life of my own, it's hard to say, but easy to say, it's just a matter of a single thought. Following Fan Ping's words, some people asked, if we go to MCMAU, our families, rest assured, seniors. What happened in the past will remain the same in the future. Moreover, MCMAU has a benefit that no other place can compare to. At this moment, Fan Ping saw that old Wang was ready to make a move. He saw that Li Hansong was about to open his mouth to speak. He cursed in his heart. Trying to pick the fruits of his labor? Impossible! I, Fan Ping, managed to swindle my way into my hands. How could I let you guys take advantage of me? Without giving them a chance to interrupt him, Fan Ping said quickly. A few days ago, MCMAU broke into a royal city. Right now, MCMAU has a huge energy mineral vein underground. This is something that no other martial arts university can compare to. If seniors do not go down to the catacombs, the resources they receive will be limited. In other schools, it'll be very difficult to sustain their cultivation. However, it's different in MCMAU. Just the existence of the mineral vein is enough to sustain seniors' cultivation. Even in Startown, other than the martial arts tower, the other places are far inferior to MCMAU's cultivation environment. Fan Ping spoke for a while. Beside him, Old Wang and Old Ya wanted to speak a few times but were forcefully interrupted by Fan Ping. Wang Jinyang's expression changed again and again. This bastard. Can't he give us a chance? How many grandmasters do you have in MCMAU? 8. How many here? 12. If they all went to MCMAU, there would be 20. What about NMAU? How pitiful! In such a big NMAU, he was the only one. How miserable! He wanted to speak a few times, but in the end, he could not. His heart was inexplicably sorrowful. How could he lead Enemayu to rise again? He was not as thick-skinned as he was. He was not as eloquent as he was. He was not as good at bluffing as he was. He did not earn as many resources as he did. With this, could he still lead Enemayu to surpass MC Mayu? He was gloomy. Yao Qingjun was so gloomy that he wanted to vomit blood. He was the owner of the Hall of Myriad Origins. Logically speaking, if these people really wanted to leave the mountain, they should go to FMS. But now, it seemed like there was nothing for him to do. If the Vice-Chancellor finds out about this, will he kill me? Yao Qingjun was a little aggrieved. If the Vice-Chancellor found out that he once had hopes of bringing 12 high ranks to FMS just because he did not know how to say anything, but MC Mayu snatched them away, he would probably beat him to death, right? He wanted to speak a few times, but Fang Ping did not stop talking. There was not even a pause. Just when Fang Ping was done and he wanted to interrupt, Fang Ping suddenly threw out a sentence. I'll inform MC Mayu's Vice-Chancellor when I get out. Let the Vice-Chancellor personally come to Starfate Town and wait. Seniors, if you've thought it through, make some arrangements to meet up with the Vice-Chancellor at Starfate Town and go to MC Mayu together. MC Mayu will arrange everything properly. We won't let you seniors go unnoticed. More than 10,000 MC Mayu instructors and students are all waiting for you seniors' arrival in MC Mayu. Seniors, I hope that we can work together to create a new era of glory and bring this era to its peak. As soon as he finished speaking, Fang Ping turned around and left. As he walked, he said, I won't say any more. The decision is entirely up to you seniors. Old Wang, Old Yao. I'm leaving. Yao Qingjun, Wang Jinyang. The few of them looked helpless, but what else could they say now? Before he left, Wang Jinyang thought for a while and said, Seniors, you can also consider NMAU. You can also consider FMS. Li Hansong was just about to speak when he suddenly felt a murderous aura. He was embarrassed and did not say another word. Fang Ping would kill him. Although the two of them had choked out those words, the others did not seem to care much. This made the two of them even more sullen. After leaving the valley, Yao Qingjun said gloomily, The Hall of Myriad Origins is mine. Fang Ping smiled. It's yours. No one will snatch it away. Then, they're not yours. They're humans, senior martial artists. They're free. Old Yao, your way of thinking is unacceptable. Fang Ping said seriously. We're all martial artists who are fighting for the rise of humanity. Are you saying that these seniors are yours too? Yao Qingjun held it in for a long time and said uncomfortably, All right, I won't say it anymore. That's right. Fang Ping laughed and looked at Liemo and the others. Old Li, you should consider it too. This is actually a good opportunity. MC Mayu's doors will always be open to you. As he spoke, Jianhao and Su Ziyu came with flight step from afar. Before Jianhao could speak, Su Ziyu said loudly, Vice-Chancellor Fang, my grandfather and the others have already prepared a banquet in Starfate Town. It's getting late. Vice-Chancellor Fang, come with me to eat. Fang Ping did not say anything for a long time. What did she mean? Starfate Town? Did they need to go to Starfate Town to eat? They were chasing him away. Jianhao was much more direct. He said simply, Go eat. After you're done, you should go back earlier. The earlier you return to Magic City, the earlier you can cultivate. Fang Ping looked gloomy. They're actually chasing me away. Starfate City's hospitality is really lacking. Beside him, Liemo and the others looked like they were escorting him. Liemo smiled and said, Fang Ping, since the banquet is ready, let's go now. I'll go look for Qin Fengqing in the city, no need. Jianhao chuckled. Qin Fengqing has already left a step earlier. He said it through gritted teeth. Qin Fengqing was escorted away directly. Forcefully escorted. That fellow had defeated 3 people in a short period of time, vomiting 3 liters of blood in each battle. He looked like he was about to die. In the end, he could still fight. And he could still win. The group of youngsters in the city were like idiots, foolishly taking the bait and letting Qin Fengqing fish. A few of the family heads could not stand it anymore. They directly ordered people to forcefully escort that fellow out of the city. When Qin Fengqing left, he was reluctant to part with them. His voice was mournful. When he said goodbye to those youngsters, his tears were about to fall. He really could not bear to leave them. As for Jiang Chao, who had taken the side of the evildoer, Jiang Yuanhua was now at home beating the dog, preparing to beat that fatty to death. Qin Fengqing left. Fang Ping was speechless. Seeing that everyone was looking at him, he could not help but laugh. All right, I'll go. All right? Actually, I wanted to make a trip to the Hall of Myriad Origins. Su Ziyu smiled. There will be plenty of opportunities in the future. It's not really necessary for a rank 7 to comprehend the origin. As for whether there was a chance or not, that would be another time. Fine. Fang Ping lamented. Then let's go. I didn't expect to have to leave after just one morning. I haven't had the time to visit the martial arts tower, the treasure room, and the seclusion grounds of the Paragon ancestors. It's such a pity. The corners of their mouths twitched. If you continued to visit, Star Town would become MC Mayu's. Get lost while it's still early. 6 powerhouses escorted them along the way, not allowing anyone from Star Town to come close. They personally escorted them out of the main gate and into Starfate Town. It was not until they reached Star Town that everyone heaved a sigh of relief. Starfate Town. The compound where they stayed last night. Su Haoran had already prepared a banquet. When Fang Ping and the others arrived, he drank a glass of wine without saying a word and said immediately, "There are still some trivial matters at home. I'll go back first. Enjoy yourselves. Return to MC Mayu as soon as you're done eating. Don't let Vice-Chancellor Wu and the others worry." Having said that, the old man ran away quickly and left immediately. What the hell is this? Fang Ping sighed. Jiang Hao smiled faintly. If you didn't cause a ruckus, everyone would have welcomed you. But look at them now. What's the situation now? Fang Ping was helpless. He glanced at Qin Fengqing and said impatiently, "I told you not to challenge people. You just had to cause trouble and drag us down." Qin Fengqing looked innocent. "What does this have to do with me? I've only fought 3 battles and obtained a divine weapon, a stalk of dark moon grass, and a few caddies of energy stones. These things are just a drop in the bucket for them. It shouldn't be because of me." However, he was too lazy to say anything since Fang Ping was trying to shift the blame. They did not say anything else. It would be a waste if they did not eat. They would talk about it after eating. In order to chase them away, Stellar Sky City had put in a lot of good stuff. It was not inferior to last night's banquet. At the table, Su Ziyu and Jiang Hao did not say much. This was because the family heads had said that it was fine to just send them away. They were not allowed to talk too much. Su Haoran even warned Su Ziyu that if she spoke more than 10 sentences, he would break her leg. Helpless, Su Ziyu did not want to talk anymore. An hour later. Outside Starfate Town. On top of the ancient city wall, 2 rank 7 martial artists did not say a word. They watched them leave. They did not say anything like, "Come back next time," either. If they left, then don't come back. At the place where he parked his car yesterday, Fang Ping dialed MC Mayu's number as soon as he got into the car and asked someone to inform Wu Quishan to come here to pick them up. After he hung up, Wang Jinang said, "How many people do you think will come out? It's hard to say for the middle ranks. The high-rank Stellar Sky City probably won't stop them because they've already comprehended the origin. They've collected all the origin energy that they need. 12 high ranks. Not many, 3 to 5 won't be a problem. If that's the case, MC Mayu will have more than 10 high ranks?" Fang Ping laughed. "Honestly speaking, MC Mayu won't let these resurrected seniors enter the catacombs. I'm serious when I say they're going to teach. It's just for show. It's mainly to relieve the pressure on MCMU instructors. With the current situation, some instructors are needed to guard Sky Gate City. There are many instructors in the southern area who are cultivating in seclusion. In terms of teachers, we're really lacking. High-ranked martial artists are full of energy. If they really want to teach, it's not a problem for them to teach 30 to 50 students. Moreover, high-ranked martial artists have high expectations. It's not difficult for them to teach a batch of middle-ranked students. They did not say anything. Wang Jinang said again. Senior Warlord gave us the information. Let's take a look. Fan Ping was also a little impatient. He quickly took out the stack of animal skin books. These were probably made by Warlord after he killed the monsters at Mount Royal Sea and skinned them. The animal skins in this stack of animal skin books were actually the skins of rank 7 monsters. Although the animal skin books looked like a lot, in reality, there were only 4 or 5 books. Fan Ping took one out. It did not have a title. This was Warlord and the others' casual records. Fan Ping glanced at it and said, "This is about the resurrected martial artists from 1,000 years ago." Fan Ping read and said, 1,000 years ago, all the major sects, clans, including the imperial family at that time, high-ranked powerhouses gathered at River Tomb Prefecture. Under the leadership of the Devil Emperor Unquestionable Jian. Fan Ping saw this and touched his chin. He said strangely, only the Devil Emperor Unquestionable Jian. The other 2 powerhouses didn't say anything. There should be 3 leaders 1,000 years ago. The other 2 were not introduced at all. Wang Jinyang said slowly. Unquestionable Jian is a martial artist from the ancient martial arts era. He should be the oldest and the most qualified. It's normal to only introduce him. Continue. These people gathered at River Tomb Prefecture to do something big, to change the world, to break the passageway to the immortal world, to prevent the end of martial arts. When Fan Ping said this, he instantly understood everything. I see. I knew it. So that's how it is. When the battle at the King battlefield ended, the passageway was probably already closed. In the era of sects, the catacombs were regarded as the immortal world. Do you still remember the records of West Mountain's Guangxing Temple? The immortal world was discovered. In the era of sects, I'm afraid the catacombs were called the immortal world. The passageway was closed, and the energy between the 2 worlds was no longer interconnected. Earth's energy weakened, and the end of martial arts arrived. At this time, Unquestionable Jian came out and gathered the current powerhouses, wanting to forcefully open the passageway, attack the catacombs, and continue to open the passageway. Fan Ping said while continuing, I was right. It was indeed to open the passageway and guide energy into Earth. Unquestionable Jian knew the dangers of the catacombs. He also knew that after opening the passageway, they might face a catastrophe. But after 1,000 years, Earth's energy disappeared, and the powerhouses became fewer and fewer. It's no longer the glory of the ancient martial arts era. If this goes on, martial arts might enter the era of no high ranks. Even these high ranks are weakening. Without the support of energy, the powerhouses are becoming fewer and fewer. That's why he gathered all the high-ranked powerhouses at that time just to do this big thing. Having said that, Fan Ping started flipping through other animal skin books. Very quickly, he found what he wanted and continued. As expected, warlords speculated that Unquestionable Jian was a survivor of the King battlefield battle. He might also be the only survivor. After he escaped from the King battlefield, he returned to Earth. Meanwhile, everyone in the boundary zone died in battle. Those who didn't die in battle also died after forcefully sealing the passageway between the 2 realms. That's why at that time, the 2 realms no longer interacted. Unquestionable Jian kept a low profile for 1,000 years, but he came out after 1,000 years. At this point, Fan Ping's gaze flickered slightly. Warlords speculated that Unquestionable Jian might have a cultivation technique from the ancient martial arts era. Among the 3 palaces, the one that belongs to Unquestionable Jian might have a cultivation technique. In that palace, perhaps Unquestionable Jian's origin inheritance is preserved. As for whether there is or not, he's not sure either. Old Zhao, this depends on you. When you're able to open that palace, you must go and give it a try. As he said that, Fang Ping continued flipping through the animal skin books, introducing. Warlord isn't sure about the outcome that time, but he speculated that the passageway was opened, and they attacked the catacombs, and a great battle with the catacombs' powerhouses happened. In the end, the entire army was annihilated, and no one came back. The Hall of Myriad Origins was actually not found in the catacombs, but in the River Tomb Prefecture, which is also the place where they gathered back then. As he said that, Fang Ping asked doubtfully, "Do you guys know where the River Tomb Prefecture is?" Qin Fengqing said scornfully. "Fang Ping, you really need to learn more. You practically don't know a thing about this knowledge." Based on 1,000 years ago, the River Tomb Prefecture should be the area under the jurisdiction of the current Beihu province. To put it more directly, it's the place where Guan Yu II died in battle. Fang Ping shot him a glance, cursing under his breath. "You're getting ahead of yourself. I'll teach you a lesson sooner or later." "Beihu," Fang Ping muttered. "Beihu has the catacombs, and Beihu is the 10 southern territories. The Nanjiang catacombs we went to previously is the 9 southern territories, and Tianan is the 11 southern territories. Could it be that they gathered at Beihu to open that passageway there? That means that they attacked the 10 southern territories back then." On the other side, Wang Jinyang said softly, "Don't forget the origin of unquestionable Jian, an abandoned disciple of Purple Cap Mountain." Purple Cap Mountain. Purple Cap Mountain should be the mysterious Purple Grotto's illumination of the 36 grottos. Li Hansong continued. Mysterious Purple Grotto's illumination, according to its current geographical location, should also be in the Beihu area, which is the River Tomb Prefecture 1,000 years ago. Wang Jinyang said again. "Fang Ping, look again, see if the bounded zone is a grotto or blessed land. In that era, it's normal for buildings that are like heavenly palaces to be called grotto or blessed land. Remember the last time we went to the Tianan catacombs, what we saw? At that time, we saw the 2 words Mausoleum Cave, right?" Fang Ping nodded, continuing to flip through the animal skin book, saying, "Warlord and the rest guess so too, but they can't be completely sure. However, the probability of the bounded zone being a grotto or blessed land is very high." "Then we're right," Wang Jinyang said again. "After that, I looked up a lot of information. Over in Tianan, there's the Void Mausoleum Grotto. And Tianan catacombs and Beihu catacombs are adjacent. This means that we found the Void Mausoleum Grotto. And on the other side of Beihu catacombs, which is to the west, is mysterious Purple Grotto's illumination. Unquestionable sword came from Purple Cap Mountain, then he brought people to attack familiar places, then there are traces to follow. Maybe he also wanted to return to Purple Cap Mountain, not leaving the mountain for 1,000 years, the catacombs closed for 1,000 years, maybe he also wanted to see if there were any acquaintances around." Fang Ping was still reading at this moment, muttering. "Actually, I also guessed before that the bounded zone is a grotto or blessed land. When I saw the 2 words Mausoleum Cave in Tianan, I had some ideas later. Previously, when I saw Purple Cap Mountain inside, I also thought of mysterious Purple Grotto's illumination. Now, it seems that my guess was right." As Fang Ping said that, he flipped a page of the animal skin book, saying, "Beihu catacombs, the bounded zone on both the east and west are perfectly preserved. The east is the bounded zone that we went to last time, Void Mausoleum Grotto. The west is Purple Cap Mountain where Unquestionable Sword is at, mysterious Purple Grotto's illumination. And Beihu catacombs is in the 10 southern territories, adjacent to Nanjiang catacombs and 9 southern territories. There is another bounded zone west of Nanjiang catacombs." As Fang Ping said that, he smiled and said, "Of the 2 tokens we obtained, one is engraved with Lu Yang, the other is engraved with Zhang Xian. I originally thought it was a person's name, now it seems that I was wrong. Zhang Xian. Xuande Grotto, ruled by Sage Shang. Lu Yang. Dongyang is hidden in the sky, ruled by Sage Lu." Li Hansong continued. "Sage, that is under the jurisdiction of the Heavenly Court. As expected, It matches. Li Hansong said excitedly. Everything matches. The bounded zone is a blessed grotto, ruled by the heavenly court. During the mythological era, the heavenly court was above the blessed grotto. I should have known the master of Void Mausoleum Grotto back then. Maybe I am not only the general of the northern expedition, but also the master of a large grotto. Of course, maybe my mansion is not in the bounded zone, or maybe it is somewhere else? But the bounded zone definitely existed since the mythological era. Everyone ignored him. Wang Jinyang thought for a while and said, Dongyang is hidden in the sky, in the area of Nans today. Xuanda Grotto is in the land of Sanqin. In Nans, it seems that no catacombs have opened. Nanjiang, Nans, and Nanha provinces did not have a single catacomb before. After that, Nanjiang's catacombs opened. If that's the case, Dongyang is hidden in the sky may not be in other catacombs, maybe it has not opened in the last catacomb. Of course, it is also possible that the geographical location in reality may not correspond to the location of these catacombs. Fan Ping, is there an introduction to the information given by Senior Warlord? Fan Ping looked at it for a while, shook his head and said, There is an introduction, but not much, very general. For example, there is a boundary zone in Magic City catacombs that is well preserved. I don't know where it is, because the Paragon will not go deep to explore. Others may not be able to find any clues. There is a well-preserved Tianan catacombs, and that is the Void Mausoleum Grotto that we discovered. North Lake catacombs, both sides are well-preserved. It is the Void Mausoleum Grotto and the possible Zishuan Grotto Heaven. Currently, there are only a total of 8 well-preserved bounded zones in Sino Nation. Therefore, our token may be useful, or it may be completely useless. Get the token, find the corresponding bounded zone, and even have the aura of the corresponding bounded zone. F*CK, the probability of this is really too small. The catacombs that Commander Li entered back then might have been a well-preserved catacomb. I don't know if it was repeated attempts or if it was a one-time occurrence. If he found it on his first try, Commander Li's luck is not worse than old Zhang's. Sure enough, there are Destiny's children in every era. These two were also Destiny's children in the past. The probability of Li Jinning entering the bounded zones was actually still very low. Every time he ventured into a well-preserved bounded zone, it was actually extremely dangerous. The more he ventured, the more dangerous it would be. Therefore, the probability of him finding it on his first try was not low. If this was not Destiny's Child, then what was? As Fan Ping and the others spoke, Li Hansong was still foolishly laughing. Since the blessed grotto is real, then the heavenly court is also real. Fan Ping, you don't even know how nervous I was when I came over here this time. However, I didn't find my origins aura here, and old Yao was confirmed to be an ancient martial artist. Now that I've confirmed this information, Fan Ping, I won't doubt your words anymore. Fan Ping rolled his eyes. Wang Jinyang and the others simply ignored him. Yao Qingjun muttered, Then are we going to the Triqing catacombs next? Over at Triqing, is there a well-preserved bounded zone? There is one. Fan Ping said, muttering, And this bounded zone is the one between the Triqing catacombs and the Shishan catacombs. As for the Shishan catacombs, guess which catacombs is adjacent to it? The Forbidden Catacombs. Fan Ping squinted and laughed. Interesting. The Forbidden Catacombs is the 18 Southern Territories. The Shishan Catacombs is the 17 Southern Territories. The Triqing Catacombs is the 16 Southern Territories. The Capital City Catacombs is the 19 Southern Territories. In other words, if we want to go to the Xuanda Grotto, whether we go to the Triqing Catacombs or the Shishan Catacombs, it's all the same. If we go to the Shishan Catacombs, the Triqing Catacombs to the west and the Forbidden Catacombs to the east. The Forbidden Catacombs is going to war. Everyone looked at him. What did he mean? Fan Ping shrugged. Why are you looking at me? I'm just analyzing. Speaking of which, we're getting more and more information now. Magic City, 7 Southern Territories. Donglin, 8 Southern Territories. Nanjiang, 9 Southern Territories. Beihu, 10 Southern Territories. Tianan, 11 Southern Territories. West Sea, 12 Southern Territories. Beijiang, 13 Southern Territories. South Capital, 20 Southern Territories. Beside him, Qin Fengqing said lazily. Fan Ping, these are all public information. There's no need to repeat it. Don't tell me you haven't played the Otherworld Invasion that you're endorsing? It's written clearly on it, okay. I suggest you play it. 1 territory, 1 zone. Currently, Sino Nation has 24 zones that are open. There's still 1 zone that hasn't been opened yet. It's going to be opened as a new zone. You don't say. This game is quite useful. I know more about these things than you do. You're an endorser, yet you're still analyzing this with us. Fan Ping looked confused. Was that so? He seemed to have forgotten about this game. Beside him, Wang Jinyang also said, This game is quite interesting. I've played it a few times too. I've always been playing it in the Nanjiang catacombs. Fan Ping, the battle we had in the catacombs was also made into a dungeon. You can watch it when you have time. It's quite interesting. Fan Ping was speechless. So all of you are playing? Playing with things can distract one's will. Let's not talk about this anymore. If we're going to explore, we'll go to the Shishan catacombs next time. Coincidentally, I heard that Shishan catacombs has opened up as an arcane realm this year for new students to cultivate. As soon as he said that, Yao Qingjun suddenly said, If we go, inform Shishan catacombs to evacuate all the new students. Fan Ping was dumbfounded. What did that mean? Even if we go, we'll still be going to the domain zone. What do you mean by speaking like the West Mountain Catacombs is going to be in big trouble? Qin Fengqing, who was driving, added insult to injury. I'm just afraid that they won't let us go. If they don't let us enter the Shishan catacombs, will they let us enter the Triqin catacombs? Fan Ping suddenly said viciously. It's all your fault. I'm a great general. Can I go to the catacombs? You guys are always looking for trouble. Wang Jinyang said indifferently. The ones who were blacklisted are you and Qin Fengqing. What does it have to do with us? Also, it's best not to enter the Forbidden City during the Great Battle. Otherwise, if you go to the West Mountain Catacombs, the seniors in charge of Mount Royal Sea won't be at ease. But then again, at that time, the Shishan Catacombs should also have paragons keeping watch, so there was no need to worry about the paragons from the opposite side entering. In this way, it will prevent the peerless experts from running away. Fan Ping glared at him. I told you, go to the land of bounded boundaries. Go to the land of bounded boundaries. Why would I provoke the apex? In the past few days he had also expended a lot of golden body forging, and his golden body forging had once again fallen below 200 million. My storage space has increased to 1,000 cubic meters, but it's empty. Fan Ping sighed inwardly. What do I need this big space for? I've spent hundreds of billions of wealth points to upgrade it to 1,000 cubic meters. What am I going to pretend for? This won't do. It's so empty. We have to fill it up. Fan Ping made up his mind. After thinking for a while, he said, 12th of September. It'll be night by the time we get back to Magic City. It was the 13th of September. He would enter the Magic City catacombs on the 15th of August. In the blink of an eye, a month had passed. But this month, we haven't made much progress. We can't go on like this. 1 month. How long had it been? Mentality was only 2,199 Hz. Vitality was only 17,888 calories. At this rate, it would take more than half a year to achieve upper stage rank 7. At this moment, if there were other people here, they would probably curse. You're only 20 years old, a middle stage rank 7 with a golden body. You think it's slow? But these people were not normal people. Wang Jinyang said seriously. It's a little slow. After I entered rank 7, I realized that the speed of mentality cultivation is very slow. Although my vitality is strong, and after mentality-vitality fusion, vitality can train mentality. But after this month, my mentality has only barely reached 1100 Hz. If I want to reach middle stage, I'll have to wait until next year. Li Hansong said gloomily. It's slow. I'm about the same as Old Wang. Old Yao is already middle stage rank 7. He's much faster than us. Yao Qingjuan's mentality had materialized because he was rank 5. His mentality had always been his strength. Now, he had broken through 2000 Hz and entered middle stage rank 7. Still, Yao Qingjun said, actually, I've slowed down too. Besides, my golden body's strength is not as strong as yours. Although the minister gave me a golden body fruit, the degree of golden body that I've forged is very weak. My skull hasn't been honed either. If we really compare, I probably won't break through to rank 8 as fast as Ironhead. They looked at each other and nodded in unison. This could not go on. It had been almost a month. This speed of improvement was too slow. Beside them, Qin Fengqing was invisible. I was too embarrassed to speak. They were all high ranks. I was only peak rank 6. When will the Forbidden City War start? I'm not sure. Do you want to go to the sacred battleground first? Fan Ping had just opened his mouth when Old Wang said immediately. Don't. If you cause trouble in the sacred battleground at this time and delay the Forbidden City War, the minister will never forgive you. They've been preparing for the Forbidden City War for some time. You've ruined it. Think about the consequences yourself. Fan Ping said gloomily. What do you mean I ruined it? King Huai wants to kill you the moment he sees you. If he kills you the moment he sees you in the Forbidden City, that's even worse. Sigh. Fan Ping let out a long sigh. In this big world, in the land of 2 realms, there's actually no place for me anymore? Then should we go to the bounded zones in advance? Wang Jinan pondered for a moment, saying, it's better not to go in advance. If we go in advance, we'll cause a huge commotion in the Shishan catacombs. This place is adjacent to the Forbidden City War. If a battle between the sacred battleground breaks out, that won't be good. Either we go after the Forbidden City War ends, or we go at the same time. They fight their battles, we find ours. Fan Ping looked indignant. Old Wang was saying this now. If we go, a battle between the sacred battleground will break out. What are you thinking? Then we can only wait until the Forbidden City War starts or ends before we can go. Yes. Then what do we do next? Fan Ping said helplessly. If we go to the catacombs, we're afraid of causing trouble. But if we don't go, how can we improve our strength quickly? I think this Forbidden City War will only start after a while. We can't just sit around these days. Beside them, Qin Fengqing finally had a use for his skills. He quickly interrupted, saying, I know a good place. Guys, how about we take advantage of this time to do something? You're a bandit? Do you want to do something no matter where you go? Fan Ping glared at him. You don't deserve to be an instructor in MC Mayu. You're a disgrace to the school. Qin Fengqing ignored him and chuckled. This time, I'm not a bandit. I'm a good guy. Do you remember when I made deals with the evil sect martial artists? At that time, I killed some catacombs martial artists and sold the hearts of the evil sect martial artists in the black market. Later, that black market was wiped out. But it's not like there were no traces left. I met some casual martial artists at that black market. Recently, someone contacted me and said that a black market has opened up again. Fan Ping, this must be the evil sect's black market. Let's go and get rid of them. Not only will we do a good deed and kill the evil sect martial artists, we can also gain something. Don't forget, at the beginning of the year, you were almost killed. After that, the Vice-Chancellor killed some of the evil sect's high ranks, but you didn't personally take revenge. Are you going to let it go just like that? Fan Ping muttered. It's a small black market. How much money can there be? A bunch of black markets that target the 3 lower ranks. There are also 3 middle ranks. That's not a lot of money. Fang Ping waved his hand. Actually, we won't get anything good by wiping out the black market. Besides, what we need is not this bit of extra income, but to find powerhouses to fight. Not to mention, it's still necessary to get rid of some evil sect martial artists. Cleaning up these fellows on a regular basis is also something that every department does. Actually, I've always been curious about who the evil sect's boss is. It's at least a rank 9 martial artist. As for Sino Nation, excluding Axe King, there are only 35 rank 9 martial artists. Among the 8 people in Stellar Sky City, 3 of them are on the list. That's a total of 40 rank 9s. Sino Nation has a total of 40 rank 9s. This target group is not big, but as mentioned before, the evil sect is global. However, Sino Nation is also a major area for evil sect activities. There should be rank 9s operating here too. Why don't you guys guess, among the 40 rank 9s, who is the boss of the Sino Nation region? Or maybe there's even a paragon as the boss? Not interested. Li Han-song was not very interested. He said, "Why don't we rest for a few days and cultivate on our own? When the Forbidden City War starts, we'll gather again." Fang Ping saw that they were not interested. It seemed that only Qin Fengqin was interested. Suddenly, his interest waned. He said, "Forget it then. The evil sect doesn't seem to be showing up recently. Let's not care about them. If Qin Fengqin is interested, he can go and take down the black market himself. It just so happens that if those resurrected martial artists from Stellar Sky City come, I can still make arrangements in the university." As they chatted, they arrived at Magic City at night. Halfway there, Old Wan had already run away. In this regard, Fang Ping felt that it was still necessary to persuade Old Wan. NMAU was so weak. He might as well give up. Of course, he knew that Old Wan would not agree. He still had feelings for NMAU. Moreover, if Fang Ping really persuaded Old Wan to give up NMAU, Zhang Ding'an, the governor, would fight Fang Ping to the death. September 13th. MCMAU knew that Fang Ping had returned. There was no other reason. On the southern area's crystal tower, there was an additional figure. The sun had just risen. Fang Ping stood on the top of the crystal tower, looking around. Not long after, Wu Kuishen's figure flashed, and he asked, "How's the harvest in Stellar Sky City?" "Not much." Fang Ping smiled. "Vice-Chancellor, have the arrangements been made in Skygate City?" "Almost. Old Juan suggested that we let the new students go to Skygate City to have a look. What do you think? Let the new students enter the catacombs?" Fang Ping hesitated for a moment. Very quickly he nodded. "Okay. It's good to bring them there. I originally wanted to let the new students wait a little longer, but now that there are no enemies in Skygate City, they can still enter. We can also let them know that MCMAU has fought in Skygate City for many years, and there are countless casualties." "Fan Yuan, should we not let her enter?" Wu Kuishen asked. Fang Ping smiled bitterly. "Vice-Chancellor, you're the Vice-Chancellor. Do you have to ask me for everything?" "Those who don't know might think that I've made you a figurehead," Wu Kuishen said faintly. "Isn't that so?" Fang Ping's expression was solemn. He said resolutely, "Absolutely not." "Then build me a crystal pagoda that's even taller than yours." Fang Ping now completely understood what it meant to be an old fox. Before he could speak, Old Wu said again, "Otherwise, the school won't think so. The outside world won't think so either. Now I'm embarrassed to go out. If I go out, people will say, 'Yo, Old Wu, I heard you've resigned from MCMAU?'" Wu Kuishen sighed. "I can't afford to lose face like that. I can't say anything about it. Don't you think so?" Fang Ping's expression darkened. He said dryly, "Then what you mean is, MCMAU's mineral veins are not suitable for building crystal towers. Your place is bigger. Build more. I think, for the high-ranked ones, one for each person. That way, you won't be too conspicuous, too ostentatious. Fang Ping looked sad. I want to be conspicuous. I want to be ostentatious. Old Wu actually wanted to freeload off his energy mine. Did the school not have one? Was there a need to do this? He did not speak. Old Wu said again. Also, you mentioned earlier that there are resurrected high-ranked martial artists coming. If that's the case, we should also give them the corresponding courtesy. You should understand the principle of 1,000 gold for a horse's bones. A crystal tower is actually not much. However, a crystal tower built on the mineral veins, a crystal tower that can accelerate cultivation, other than MC Miyu, no one else can afford it. Don't forget, there are actually only a group of resurrected martial artists in Star City, not all of them. In the outside world, there are still some who have returned to the sect. As for the sects, they can still be absorbed. If you can hook up those old antiques in the sect world, even Minister Zhang will praise you for your meritorious service. These old antiques are actually more difficult to deal with. But now, it's actually difficult for them to cultivate. Some people's condition has deteriorated greatly. In the sect world, there are old antiques who are not resurrected, but there are also high-ranked resurrected ones. Their strength is still not weak. If we really count the high-ranked people in the sect world, I'm afraid there will not be less than 50 people. Some sects only have 2 or 3 people in a sect. The number of middle and low-ranked martial artists is not even as many as the high-ranked ones. These high-ranked ones have nothing better to do. They would rather sleep than come out. Fan Ping said tiredly. I understand what you mean. Using the mineral veins to lure these people to take the bait, right? That's right. They might not be willing to go to the government. But if they come to MC Miyu to teach, I think there is still hope. Wu Quishan laughed. Don't you want a school to suppress a catacomb? If you are not at the pinnacle, can you suppress a catacomb? But if there are close to 100 high-ranked people in a school, if there are more than 10 rank 9 people, then there is hope to suppress a catacomb. There are only 12 cities left in the Magic City catacombs, 24 rank 9s. Even if there are no pinnacles, it is not impossible for us to suppress a catacomb. Fan Ping, you can only gain if you give up. Fan Ping sighed again and said, How many towers do you want to build? This mineral vein of yours is less than 100 meters long. However, it can guide the energy and spread it to the surroundings. It doesn't have to rely on your side. MC Miyu's mineral vein will also guide the energy. Wu Quishan laughed. I calculated it. 30 should be enough. This will also be a symbol of MC Miyu in the future. Think about it. 1 tower, 1 high-ranked, what a sight! Can other places do it? When MC Miyu's 30 crystal towers are built, there will be high-ranked martial artists stationed there. MC Miyu's prestige will be enough to make it famous in the world. Fang Ping was quite excited when he heard that. After he was done, he said, Vice-Chancellor, shouldn't Sky Gate City's name be changed? When Wu Quishan heard that, he cursed in his heart. Kid, you're giving me your conditions. You actually want the right to name it, shameless. Although he was cursing, Wu Quishan still smiled. What name do you think is suitable? Ping City? Fang Ping had mentioned it once in Nanjiang. No one paid attention to him. Now, the city that MC Miyu had conquered by itself was good enough, right? Ping City, change it. Wu Quishan felt that this name was too straightforward. Even a fool would know that it was Fang Ping who came up with it. Was he shameless? Then Fang, you're not allowed to use your own name. Devil City. Is that okay? Fang Ping rolled his eyes. Magic City Catacombs City, MC Miyu's city. What do you think? Wu Quishan thought for a moment and replied. Okay. Devil City will be Devil City, although it feels a little like a villain. Fang Ping ignored him. I'm someone who's determined to be a Devil King. How am I a villain? Devil King City is better, but it's too straightforward. Devil City is better. After discussing these, Wu Quishan asked again. How many people can come from Polaris City? I really don't know. Vice-Chancellor, you'll know when you go. If you go personally, you're giving them enough face. A rank 9 powerhouse personally inviting them is much better than me, a rank 7. 12 high ranks. Not too many, just half will do. Wu Kuishan was quite concerned about this matter. After asking for a while and understanding the situation, he did not delay and quickly used flight step to leave. If MC Mayu could really pull this group of people over, their strength would skyrocket again. Even if they were not allowed to go to the catacombs, it would be enough just to watch over the school. September 15th. Something that shocked the outside world happened. On this day, MC Mayu's school gates opened wide to welcome the new instructors. Under normal circumstances, the induction of MC Mayu's instructors would not cause much of a commotion. Even if a rank 6 instructor came, they would just organize an internal welcome ceremony. This time, however, MC Mayu made a big fuss and the standards were extremely high. They even invited a few deputy ministers of the Education Ministry to participate in the welcome ceremony. There was no other reason. The instructors who came this time were really strong. All 3 rank 8 powerhouses came. Monk Huihong, Guixingquan. Scholar Zihu, Guanfu. Xianqing, Mei Lingfeng. The arrival of the 3 rank 8s instantly blew up the whole country. Other than the 3 rank 8 powerhouses, there were also 2 rank 7 powerhouses. This time, not all of the 12 high ranks came. Fang Ping was not surprised that some chose to stay in Polaris City in the end. 2 rank 7 powerhouses, 1 male and 1 female. The male was called Fan Hua, and the female was Lian Yuqing. These were also their real names. The 5 high ranks who came did not use the names from their past lives. Let go of the past and start afresh. This was the only thought that the few high-ranked powerhouses had before they came. If it were not for their own survival, they would not have walked out of Polaris City. Other than the 5 high ranks this time, there were also 5 rank 6 martial artists who came with them. It was just that they did not attract too much attention. If it were any other time, 5 rank SIXS might be enough to shock people. On this day, MC Mayu raised many crystal towers. The 5 high-ranked powerhouses were stationed in 5 of the towers. Because of this, the number of MC Mayu high-ranked powerhouses broke through the double digits, becoming 13 people. Everyone in the outside world knew that Luo Yichuan, Su Giqing, and Zhang Jianhong had been in closed-door cultivation for many days. Before that, they were already at the Mentality Vitality Unity realm. Perhaps they would step into the Grand Master realm soon. Besides that, the 2 deans, Qin Zhenhua and Hu Mingyi, were also breaking through to the Mentality Vitality Unity realm with MC Mayu's support. June 9th, MC Mayu's old vice-chancellor died in battle in the catacombs. At that time, MC Mayu only had 3 Grandmaster powerhouses left. Rank 8 Wu Kuishan, Rank 7 Lu Polu, and Huang Jing. There was no one at the Mentality Vitality Unity realm. September 10th, MC Mayu had 13 Grandmaster level powerhouses in more than a year. Rank 9 Wu Kuishan, Rank 8 Li Changxing, Guixingquan, Guanfu, and Mei Lingfeng, Rank 7 Lu Polu, Huang Jing, Lu Fengru, Tang Feng, Fang Ping, Li Hansong, Fan Hua, and Liang Yuqing. When the news spread, there was no one who was not shocked. Even Zhang Tao was a little surprised. This kid Fang Ping was really good at deceiving people. He actually tricked 5 high-ranked powerhouses to go to MC Mayu. The most important thing was, the owner of the Hall of Myriad Origins, Yao Qingjun, this good-for-nothing, did not even get one. He heard that FMS's vice-chancellor, Nan Yiping, hung Yao Qingjun in the cultivation room and beat him up. He did not know whether it was true or not. Old Zhang felt a little regretful. It was too far away, and his mentality was too exhausted. Otherwise, it would have been nice to watch the show. September 15th. Old Zhang regretted that he did not get to see a good show. On the same day, the 2 presidents of the Martial Arts Association also wanted to cry but had no tears. All of a sudden, there were 5 more powerhouses not on the ranking list. The Martial Arts Association's phone was about to explode with calls. Many grandmasters did not know about these people and did not know what was going on. They did not stop scolding these two. If they had known that there were so many powerhouses living in seclusion, they would have struck first and gained the upper hand. MC Mayu would not have gotten their turn. Not long after they had dealt with those grandmasters, MC Mayu also called the Martial Arts Association to update the ranking list as soon as possible and let 5 new grandmasters enter the ranking list. 5 high ranks. If they did not come out of retirement, they would be high ranks. If they came out of retirement, it meant that they had the heart to contribute to mankind. That was a grandmaster. If that was the case, of course, the 5 grandmasters had to enter the grandmaster ranking list. Not only did they have to enter the ranking list, but they also had to be ranked at the top. According to the person on the other end of the phone, the 3 big rank 8 powerhouses were powerhouses who had comprehended the path of origin. Such powerhouses could be in the top 10 of rank 8 no matter what. It would be best if they could be in the top 5. The first place was Oldly, and the 3 behind him were the 3 of them. MC Mayu would dominate the rank 8 ranking list. When the 2 presidents heard his request, they almost died of anger. What rank do you want us to be? Why don't you be the president? Recently, the Martial Arts Association had a bad year. There were a lot of troublesome things. Vice President Liu had said a few sweet words to an old lady at home. Who knew which wicked person had overheard it and spread it? If word got out, President Liu would be too ashamed to face anyone. Recently, President Liu had been paranoid. He always felt that someone was eavesdropping on him. When he got home, he did not dare to make a sound. As for who was eavesdropping and who spread it, old Liu had a rough idea. He just could not be sure. The minister could not be so tasteless and boring, right? I did not offend him. However, if it was not a paragon, even if it was a rank 9, he should have noticed something if someone was eavesdropping on him. Yet, there was none. How could it be commanderly? However, it was hard to say. Did Commanderly not threaten him during the ranking list back then? Sigh, what a bad year! Maybe it's really Commanderly, but aren't you higher than Minister Zhang in our ranking list? President Liu let out a long sigh in his heart. There was no way he could continue being this lousy president position. Each and every one of them threatened him every day. The ranking list was not something that he could rank however he wanted. I gave it to them to see for themselves, but each of them pretended not to care. When he sent it to the military department, Commanderly said it was up to him. When he sent it to the education department, Minister Zhang also said he did not care about empty titles. If he really did not care, when we ranked the 2 guardians in front of us, I did not see any of your expressions, did you? Hypocrites! It must be one of these 2 who did it. The stronger they are, the more hypocritical, the more wretched they are. The more shameless they are. When old Liu hung up the phone, he cursed many people in his heart. Each and every one of them was like this. How many people had he been threatened by? MC Mayu had the most. Wu Quishan, that old thing, actually asked him to rank him in front of the Dragon King. Wu Chuan, that old thing too, insisting that he was better than Zhang Weiyu. Tian Mu, that old fart, was actually unwilling to be ranked behind a rank 9. There was also Li Changxing, Fan Ping, each and every one of them was like this. There was also Lu Fengru. Last time, she also threatened him not to rank Fang Ping in front of her. If you threaten me again, I will publicize all of your scandals. President Liu made up his mind again. When the time comes, he would expose your true colors. He would let outsiders know what a group of paragons, a group of grandmasters were like. The stronger they were, the more shameless they were. Please remember this book's original domain name. 9 Heavens Divine Emperor Mobile Version website. Chapter 654. Due to the arrival of the 5 grandmasters, MC Mayu was in an uproar for a few days. While MC Mayu was still immersed in the grandmaster's arrival, and the number of high ranks had broken through to double digits. Capital City. Forbidden City. At this moment, the Forbidden City was completely closed to the public. In the depths of a side hall, Jiang Tao looked at the huge map in front of him. He was no longer as friendly as he usually was. After a while, he said solemnly, "There are a total of 12 cities in the 18 southern regions. 6 Monster Plant Clan and 6 Monster Life Clan. Since this was a battle to destroy a domain, there was no distinction between the Demon Plant and Demon Life branches. Our opponents are very strong, perhaps even stronger than the Southern Sky territory of the 11 southern regions." Beside him, Li Daong said solemnly, "He'll definitely become stronger." The commander said that this time, the Forbidden Zone wouldn't just stand by and watch. Tiannan's Catacombs' great victory previously had already made the restricted area feel that something was amiss. The Magic City Catacombs had once again annihilated Skygate City. The number of Rank 9 powerhouses in the restricted area was not limitless. So many Rank 9s have died in battle one after another. The restricted zone will definitely send someone over this time. Jiang Tao nodded slightly and said, "That's right. The battle in Tianan was an accident. In the battle in Demonic Capital, although the ones who died were the powerhouses under King Huai's command, it also put pressure on the other true monarchs. If the Battle of Tianan was a gamble, then the Battle of Demonic City was only a local war, and it also had the nature of a gamble. The Forbidden Catacombs must be stable. You can't gamble on a war every single time. The Battle of the Forbidden Catacombs was initiated by Sino Nation. It was a large-scale war initiated by them. They couldn't gamble with their lives in this battle." As Jiang Tao spoke, he said, "Currently, 3 Rank 9s have been recruited from Stellar Sky City. Jian Yuanhua will be participating in the war, and the other 2 will replace the 2 Rank 9s to oversee a region. I'm planning to transfer Zhongzhou's Catacombs Jiao Xingwu and Magic City's Catacombs Fan Haiping to replace them with the 2 from Polaris City. In addition, Zhang Weiyu, the Guardian of the West, Wu Chuan, the Guardian of the South, and Wan Yu, the Northern Spear King. Also, Elder Nan will also take action at the crucial moment." After Jiang Tao revealed the names of these people, Wang Qinghai, who was standing behind him, exclaimed in astonishment, "They've turned out in full force. In the top 10 of the Rank 9 Grandmaster ranking in China, except for the 4 Peerless Masters. 5th, Nan Yunwei. 6th, Zhang Weiyu. 7th, Wu Chuan. 9th, Zhao Xingwu. 10th, Wan Yu." Apart from the 8th-ranked Kong Lingyuan who was still recuperating, everyone else would be participating in this battle. Such a lineup was shocking. Before Jiang Tao could finish, he continued, "De Yong, you have to fight in this battle as well. In addition, Gui Xian and Tian Mu from the military will also participate. Li Daong, 11th on the Rank 9 ranking list. Fan Haiping, Magic City's old fan, 15th on the Rank 9 ranking list. After obtaining the Divine Weapon, Tian Mu was ranked 26th on the Rank 9 ranking list. Gui Xian was currently ranked last on the list, 36th. Li Daong nodded. In this way, including Jiang Yuanhua, there were already 10 Rank 9s. But this was not all. Jiang Tao continued, "The Northern Guardian Mansion, Shin Mingwei, the head of the Shin family, will fight." The head of the Chen family, Chen Haodong of the Eastern Guardian Mansion, stepped forward. Dragon King Lin Long, the commander of the Wuan Army of the Ministry of Education, Bei Gong Yen, the commander of the State Garrison Army of the Department of Investigation, Zhong Qinghuan. Wang Qinghai suddenly said, "Minister, wait, who's going to fight?" Jiang Tao glanced at him and said lightly, "Do you have any questions?" "No doubt about it," Minister Wang replied bluntly. Then, he grinned and said, "Commander Zhong is coming? I haven't seen him for a long time. It's been a few years. Ever since he entered Rank 9, he's been elusive. Isn't the National Garrison Army wiping out evil sects and searching for the seed of rebirth? I thought Commander Zhong wouldn't be coming. I didn't expect. Beside him, Li Daong glanced at him and said, "You want to hit on her? She's an old pepper. I heard that she had a heated argument with Mayor Nan before. For the position of the director of the Department of Investigation, Both of them started cursing in the office. Are you sure you can handle it? Minister Wan laughed dryly. Why would I? Aren't we old friends? I just haven't seen her for a long time. I just wanted to ask. Daong, I heard that you've been thinking about her too. Is that true? Li Daong ignored him. Zhang Tao knew a lot of secrets. He said nonchalantly. Many people are thinking about her. Didn't Wu Chuan call her a few days ago to harass her? Other than Wu Chuan, Bai Gongyan, Lin Long, and Zhang Wei, you seem to have some ideas. Save it, you guys. She's not easy to deal with. I heard that she's having an affair with Li Jin. Li Diong's expression was stiff. Minister, you can't just say things like that. Zhang Tao snorted and said disdainfully. I'm saying things like that? If she's not having an affair, why would he, Li Jin, a commander of the military department, have a discussion with the National Garrison Army of the Department of Investigation? If she's having an affair, then so be it. Why would she block my mentality? If that's not guilty conscience, then what is? Li Diong's expression was extremely stiff. You're in the right to eavesdrop? It's fine if you eavesdrop on others, but you even eavesdrop on Li Jin. It'd be strange if he didn't block you. Just because he blocked you, she's having an affair with someone else? Your logic is invincible. Zhang Tao laughed again. There aren't many women in rank 9. Nan Yunwei, Zhong Qinghuan, and Xie Yifan, just these three. Nan Yunwei is too old. Zhong Qinghuan and Xie Yifan are a little younger. It's normal for a group of bachelors like you to have your eyes on them. Li Daong and the others looked unhappy. Minister Wang coughed softly. Minister, I heard that you sent flowers to Minister Xie a few years ago but was rejected? Zhang Tao's expression did not change. He said calmly. Sent flowers? You guys really know how to make connections. How old am I? I'm almost 90. After Pimping's grandmother passed away, I lost the thought. Is that considered sending flowers? That's the flower of origin born by a rank 9 monster plant. Xie Yifan is not in her right mind. I'm sending flowers for her to comprehend the origin, but she actually rejected me. Zhang Tao shook his head and said helplessly. Women, no matter what age they are, still like to think too much. Then, he changed the topic. I don't know if Xie Yifan can make it back in time this time. She went to support Will Lawson. There's a riot over there. If she makes it back in time, the 3 female rank 9s will all be here. Everyone stopped teasing him. If they really pissed off old Zhang, they could forget about having a good life in the future. Li Daong calculated for a while and said, if Minister Xie doesn't come back, then there'll be 15 rank 9s. Chief Nan and the rest are powerful. The top 10 can easily take on 2 at once. Minister Nan is about to break through. The moment he breaks through, killing 3 to 5 people might not be a problem. However, there are 24 rank 9s in the Forbidden Catacombs. Including the restricted area's reinforcements, there might be more than 30. Minister, if you want to play it safe, it's still not enough. There were 36 rank 9s on the list. In reality, there were 35. The Chen and Shen families in Stellar Sky City had both rank 9s on the list. This time, there were 3 reinforcements, so there were 38 people. Other than the Forbidden Catacombs, there were still 23 catacombs in Sino Nation. These 15 people were almost at their limit. Even if Xie Yifan, who went to support other countries, came back, she might not be able to participate in this battle. Zhang Tao inhaled softly and said in a low voice, 15 people. This is much stronger than the last Tianan battle. Not only in terms of numbers, but also in terms of individual strength. However, you're right. 15 people against at least 30. In the last Tianan battle, the Monster Plant Monster and Monster Life Clan were not on good terms. Some people from Monster Life Clan even avoided the battle. This time, many people from the restricted area should be coming, including the leaders of the 2 parties who led this battle. However, if we transfer more people, it will seriously affect the other catacombs. Once we lose the rank 9s to hold down the fort, there will be no way to suppress the riots in the nearby cities. Even delaying it will be difficult. Why don't we ask for help from the other big holy lands? Minister Wang had just said this when Zhang Tao waved his hand and said, "They are under more pressure than we are. What they mean is that now is not the time to start a large-scale war. A few old things even advised me not to act rashly at this time." Zhang Tao then said, "Tian and catacombs can be guarded without rank 9s. Send a few more rank 8s. This way, when Xie Yifan comes back, she can participate in the Forbidden City battle." Minister Wang hesitated for a moment, but still said, "There has just been a battle in Magic City catacombs. Monster Sunflower City has suffered heavy losses. They might not start a war at this time. Old Man Fan is here. I think we can let Li Changxing guard Magic City catacombs and send Vice-Chancellor Wu to participate in the battle." Li Daong said straightforwardly. "Li Changxing doesn't need it. Don't you have 3 rank 8 resurrected martial artists? Let the 3 of them guard Magic City catacombs. No matter what, rank 8 martial artists who have comprehended the origin won't be too weak. If the 3 of them join forces, they should be able to guard Magic City catacombs, right? Let Wu Quishan and Li Changxing enter Capital City to participate in the battle. Now we have 2 more rank 9s. Zhang Tao frowned slightly. Mayu has just ended the Sky Gate battle. Li Changxing consumes his vitality every time he fights. Wu Quishan is also in a period of rapid improvement. Everyone fell silent. Mayu participated in the battle one after another. In this year, there were countless big and small battles. Wu Quishan almost died in the battle in Tianan. After that, he fought another big battle in Magic City. Li Changxing also almost died in the battle in Nanjiang. Such frequent battles were rare even among high-ranked martial artists. However, there were only 15 rank 9s that Sino Nation could mobilize now. Including Xie Yifan's return, there were only 16. If there were 2 more, the situation would improve a lot. If the Forbidden Catacombs were destroyed, then Sino Nation's situation would improve. More than half of the tens of thousands of Yuan military could be freed to fight in other catacombs. Among the 38,000 Yuan military, there were dozens of high-ranked powerhouses. However, these people were now trapped in the Forbidden Catacombs and could not participate in the battles in other catacombs. The Education Ministry could only suppress this catacombs after decades of training. Minister Wang thought about it and said, "Then, why don't we transfer Fang Ping over? Can't he restrain his aura? Let him bomb the city." Zhang Tao pressed his hands together and said, "He can't come. His trip this time is extremely dangerous. After the battle in Tianan, including the battle between kings, some of his characteristics have already been known by the restricted area. This time, the people from the restricted area might set up an ambush to kill him. If Fang Ping dies in battle here, no matter how great the victory in the Forbidden Catacombs is, it will not be worth it. This is also the reason why I don't want to recruit Mayu's people." Zhang Tao sighed. If we recruit Mayu's powerhouses, he might take the opportunity to rush over and blend in. This kid is a troublemaker. If he comes, there might be accidents. Everyone laughed. Minister Wang said again, "But Mayu still has many rank 7 powerhouses. Don't tell me they won't be recruited for this big battle?" This includes Wang Jinyang, Li Han Song, Yao Qingjun, and a few others. Although they have just entered rank 7, their combat strength is quite strong. If they participate in the rank 7 battle, they might have unexpected gains. Also, Fang Ping's materialized objects are extremely powerful. I heard that they are all constructed from imperishable substances. Rich bastard. Li Daong suddenly cursed. Everyone looked at him. "You actually know how to curse?" Li Daong was a little embarrassed. He had just blurted it out. Sorry, he could not hold it in. However, a rank 7 martial artist constructed a materialized object using imperishable substances. What a rich bastard. He was extremely envious and jealous. He was not the only one. Were these guys not the same? Minister Wang also ignored him. Despicable people were actually jealous of a young man. Did they have no shame? I am not jealous. Yes, not at all. I just want to rob him, that's all. Ignoring Li Daong, Minister Wang continued. Fan Ping's materialized objects are powerful. If he appears on the battlefield and grasps the timing well, he might even be able to stop 7 or 8 rank 7 martial artists at once. If he can get rid of these people quickly, they can join the rank 8 battlefield. Zhang Tao waved his hand again. I said, he will be targeted and targeted. If he appears on the battlefield again, there will be rank 8s, and even rank 9s who will attack him soon. After the Magic City battle, his trump cards were almost exposed. The rank 8 who escaped from Monster Sunflower City has already reported what happened that day to the restricted area. Therefore, even if he comes, the most he can do is stop a rank 9, and then be killed by the rank 9. The restricted area will not give him another chance to kill those rank 7 martial artists. Everyone felt a little regretful. This was the truth. Some of Fang Ping's situation was now known by the restricted area. If he appeared in the catacombs again, he would definitely be targeted. 15 rank 9s. Chief Nan and the rest are extremely powerful. They might win. Zhang Tao said this, but he was frowning slightly. Winning did not mean there would be no losses. If too many rank 9s died in this battle, then the losses would outweigh the gains. However, manpower was indeed limited. Should Wu Quishan and Li Changxing be enlisted? Wu Quishan's ability was much stronger than before. He heard that Fang Ping had passed the Celestial Gate tree to him again, and lent him to reforge a rank 9 divine weapon. It was slightly stronger than the upgraded rank 8 divine weapon from before. The origin path had also improved a lot. Now, it would not be difficult for Wu Quishan to kill a rank 9 without a rank 9 divine weapon. Li Changxing also had the combat strength to kill a rank 9. Both of them had rank 9 divine weapons. If they joined forces, their ability would not be weaker than the last few rank 9 ranked in the top 10. Zhang Tao thought for a while and did not mention this again. Instead, he continued, recruit 30 rank 8 martial artists from the country. There are 5 rank 8s here in Wuhan military. Together with a few from the ministry and a few from the military department, we will make up to 40 rank 8 martial artists. There are only 35 rank 8 martial artists in the Forbidden Catacombs. From the restricted area, there will not be many rank 8s. Their ability is about the same. As for the rank 7s, the Wuhan military and the ministry can also gather 40 people. Recruiting 60 people or 100 people should be enough. Although there are many rank 7s in the catacombs, don't forget that most of our people now have divine weapons. Their combat strength is stronger. The situation is much better than before. Everyone calculated for a while. In this way, there would be more than 150 high-ranked powerhouses participating in the battle. Compared to the last battle in Tiannan, more people were mobilized and stronger. Divine weapons were fully equipped. There were even more rank 8s and 9s. As Zhang Tao did not mention anything about MC Meiyu, Minister Wang thought for a while and still said vaguely, that kid Fang Ping is not here. I feel a little unsafe. Zhang Tao's expression darkened. He said lightly, you think Fang Ping is more reliable than me? That guy was only a rank 7. How could he be reliable? When the time comes, I will still be at Mount Royal Sea. That's not what I mean. The key is that kid has a lot of good stuff. We can't dig them out normally, but when the battle starts and he sees that we have casualties, that kid will also throw out the good stuff. Do you know how much life essence he has, Minister? Do you know how many imperishable crystals he gave to MC Meiyu last time? Usually, this kid hides it very well. Minister, you've robbed him a few times. He might hold a grudge and take revenge on you sooner or later. When the battle starts, that kid won't have so many ideas. Zhang Tao snorted. Do you think I'm afraid of him holding a grudge? What a joke. Who was the martial king? Even if Fang Ping had reached the peak, he would still have to hold it in. How could he be afraid of Fang Ping? Then are you sure you won't recruit MCMAU people? It depends on the situation and the situation. If trouble really happens at this crucial time. Zhang Tao calculated for a while and said, then recruit MCMAU people, especially Fang Ping. Throw them into the catacombs and lure 8 or 10 rank 9s away. Maybe there's a chance. Everyone was dumbfounded. Lure 8 or 10 rank 9s away? What was the minister thinking? Zhang Tao rubbed his chin and said, he and King Huai have a deep grudge. King Huai's 2 plans were ruined by him. He can't wait to kill him. King Huai commands the forbidden catacombs. At this crucial time, his archenemy has come. If Fang Ping provokes him a few more times, how can he not be angry? Also, this time, if people come from the restricted zone, some of those high-ranking brats from the King battleground might come too. In the Outland, these people are the masters. If the master wants to kill Fang Ping, will those people not listen? It's not impossible for Fang Ping to lure 8 or 10 rank 9s away. If it really comes to that, won't he be dead meat? That's not necessarily true. If this kid can really run to the bounded zone or hide his aura and find a place to hide, it'll be very difficult to find him. Zhang Tao laughed and said, of course, we won't do that unless it's a crucial moment. If it really doesn't work, let him curse at the passageway entrance. I'll help him amplify his voice. It's good to disturb people's minds. At most, after he's done cursing, let him leave the passageway. Don't say, this trick might work. In a battle between powerhouses, once the mentality is unstable, it'll be a mess. After saying that, Zhang Tao said again, go and find out what Fang Ping has been doing recently. During the battle, keep a close eye on him. Don't let him run around and cause riots in other catacombs. That'll be troublesome. Okay. Minister Wang responded. After that, he felt a little awkward. This was strange. A battle involving a catacomb. Such a big matter, why were we discussing a rank 7 martial artist? This time, the powerhouses involved, rank 7 martial artists counted in the hundreds. Rank 8s might be in the hundreds. There were dozens of rank 9s. They did not care about those rank 9s. Instead, they were discussing a rank 7 martial artist. Just as they were discussing what Fang Ping was doing. McMao. Old Manly looked at Fang Ping with a face full of shock. He murmured, what are you doing? Fang Ping said in a low voice, this time, I'm going to do something big. Kid, what's up with you? Old Manly was going crazy. Tell me, how much imperishable substance do you have? It's fine if you use imperishable substance to create the materialization core. Now you want to use imperishable substance to build an entire city. Do you know how much imperishable substance this will consume? Kid, even if it's a waste, you shouldn't waste it like this. You're only a rank 7. No matter how strong the materialization is, it can only trap a rank 8 at most. But you have so much imperishable substance. Once it's consumed on the materialization, it's the kind that can't be recycled. It's a waste. Fang Ping nodded. I know, but... Instructor, if I turn the entire Sun City into a golden city, do you think I can use it as a real cage city? Fang Ping chuckled. When the war starts, it's very difficult for me to trap a rank 9. It's actually difficult for a rank 8. But if I throw Golden City down, as long as it's within my coverage range, a rank 7 can forget about coming out if they're trapped inside. Isn't the Forbidden Catacombs going to have a big war? I've been thinking about it. I might join the war. After all, Fang Ping, cannot be separated from the war. I won't take care of the powerhouses. But those rank 7 martial artists, there are hundreds of them in each catacombs, right? My previous house was too small. Now that I've turned all the buildings into golden houses, won't I be able to trap them one by one? Once they're trapped, I'll drag them back and kill them slowly. Stop thinking about these useless things all day long. Old Manly frowned. You're wasting so much imperishable substance just to trap a rank 7? With so much imperishable substance, it's enough for you to quickly hone your golden body as a rank 8. It's more than enough to hone to peak rank 8. When you've reached peak rank 8 or even rank 9, killing a rank 9 is more worthwhile than killing dozens of rank 7. Martial arts cultivation is also about cost effectiveness. That's true. Fan Ping thought for a while and said, but I have a lot of imperishable substance. Forget it, let's give it up for now. It's not enough to turn a small city into gold. Fan Ping sighed. Less than 200 million imperishable substance. If he spent all of it, there was no way he could completely turn a small city into a small city made of imperishable substance. He still had a long way to go. Without mentioning this matter again, Fan Ping asked again. Instructor, has the minister enlisted MCMAU to join the war? No. Does that mean he's not planning to enlist MCMAU? Maybe. Old Manly said, don't you have an endless supply of imperishable substance? Give me a little more. 30 to 50,000 won't be too little. I'll go to the forbidden catacombs for a walk. Fan Ping rolled his eyes. He knew now that he had spent 1,000 wealth points to condense a strand of imperishable substance that was only 1/10 of Yuanli's destructive force. 10 strands were only 1 Yuanli's power. 30 to 50,000. Wouldn't that be 3 to 500 million wealth points? That was a few trillion wealth points. 1 Yuanli's power was comparable to 10 C celestiality and 5,000 calories vitality force. This referred to the degree of destructive power. A rank 8 powerhouse who had just entered rank 8 could only produce 10 Yuanli's power. If it was divided according to the 9 forging golden body, the amount of imperishable substance that a 1 forging golden body could produce was only this much. It was considered a limit. Only when the forged golden body was stronger could it accommodate more imperishable substance. Old Manly asked for tens of thousands. Fan Ping could not afford it even if he sold his entire fortune. What a black-hearted person! Thinking of this, Fan Ping felt a headache coming on to his future cultivation and recovery. 1 Yuanli's power would require 10,000 wealth points. According to theory, the upper limit that could be accommodated would increase at least 10 Yuanli's power. 9 forging was almost the upper limit of 100 Yuanli's power. 1 recovery would be 1,000,000 wealth points. This was not 1,000,000, it was 10 billion. In the future, a rank 7 divine weapon would only be enough for 1 recovery. It was too extravagant. No wonder rank 8 powerhouses nowadays were so cautious. It could not be helped. They did not have Fan Ping's ability. Even if Fan Ping spent his wealth points, he would need to spend the price of a rank 7 divine weapon to recover completely. They relied purely on the intertwining of their golden body, mentality, and vitality force to produce a little. If they depleted their imperishable substance, the difficulty of recovery would be at least 10 times higher than Fan Ping's. The price of dozens of divine weapons. There were a lot of poor rank 8 ghosts. Who could afford it? Fan Ping ignored Old Manly. He thought for a while and said, Instructor, you said that I should go to the Shishan catacombs now to inspect the situation of the freshman's cultivation arcane realm. Can I go in and inspect the Shishan catacombs? Inspection? Yes. Old Manly was speechless. Do you think I'll believe you? Do you think the Shishan catacombs will believe you? Fan Ping, the Forbidden City battle is not far away. Don't cause trouble for everyone. Fan Ping felt tired. How am I causing trouble? These people are saying that I'm causing trouble now. I've always been the one who has contributed, okay? Each and every one of them are afraid that something will happen to me. I'm just going to the bounded domain. I'm going to the bounded domain to take a look. If there's anything good, I'll bring it back. If there's nothing good, I'll leave. It'll only take 1 or 2 days to go back and forth. What are you guys thinking? Besides, the Forbidden Catacombs and the Shishan Catacombs are on the other side. I'm not going to the other side. I'll go to the side that's adjacent to the Trichine Catacombs, okay? Then I can't not go to the catacombs, can I? Instructor, I'll go to Shishan in 2 days. I heard that the Shishan Catacombs is the first catacombs discovered in Sino Nation. I'm quite interested in that side. The seniors of Guangxing Temple said that they discovered immortals. Guangxing Temple has a long history too. I've even seen the records of Guangxing Temple over at Polaris City. There were also people who participated in the battle 1,000 years ago. I'll go to Guangxing Temple to take a look, then Shishan to take a look. Maybe there will be some unexpected gains. Don't you think so? Old Manly looked at him for a while. After a long while he said, You can try. I might not let you in. Fang Ping pursed his lips. How is that possible? I'm going to Shishan, not the Forbidden Catacombs. Is there any reason not to let the Martial Arts University Vice-Chancellor go to the catacombs? Please remember the domain name of this book, 9 Heavens Divine Emperor Mobile Version. Chapter 655. Starting from September 20th, the government began to issue conscription orders. McMao. In the conference room of South District. Huang Jing said, The government did not enlist MCMAU into battle because MCMAU's previous battle had just ended. The Department of Education felt that we needed to recuperate. Tang Feng said calmly, There's no need for that. I'll be participating in this battle. Even if they didn't, they wouldn't reject me if I went. Everyone looked at him. Tang Feng glanced at Fang Ping and said, How do martial artists improve if they don't fight? During the battle at the Gate of Heaven, we didn't put in much effort at all. The light injuries we suffered have long since healed. If I don't fight, I'll need at least a year to reach middle stage rank 7. The only way to break through the barrier was to continuously fight and fight to the death. Only when one's psyche was stimulated and his qi and blood surged to the limit. I don't want to be a burden all the time. In MCMAU now, it doesn't make a difference if I'm around or not. As Tang Feng spoke, he swept a glance at Fang Ping. His gaze was unfriendly as he said, This will prevent some brat from using his mentality to spy on me in the middle of the night without me noticing. Fang Ping looked innocent. You're accusing me wrongly. Humph. Tang Feng's gaze became even more unfriendly. He said sharply, If not, why would everyone know that I ate something in the middle of the night? Fang Ping was so depressed that he wanted to vomit blood. He raised his hand and swore, Don't look at me. I didn't do it. It was Teacher Li who told me. He said that you have a special hobby and can't sleep without eating stinky tofu in the middle of the night. That's how I found out about this. You were the one who spread it. No. Humph. The atmosphere in martial arts universities was becoming more and more abnormal. When I go to the Forbidden Catacombs this time, I will also question Minister Zhang. Evil practices must be banned, starting with him. If the upper beam is not straight, the lower beam will be crooked. In the past, I thought that Minister Zhang was kind and considerate to the people. Now, Tang Feng could not be bothered to explain. MCMAU's unhealthy tendencies were all caused by Zhang Tao. When he went to the Forbidden Catacombs this time, he would definitely interrogate Zhang Tao harshly. As the head of a department, should he do such a thing? Don't you have any morals? In the long run, wouldn't everyone be in danger? He ate stinky tofu, and the whole school knew about it. Even his own daughter would ask him, Dad, did you eat it last night? And the key to all of this was strength. Early stage rank 7 strength was not enough. It was far from enough. He couldn't even block the mental probing of these bastards. Fang Ping shrugged. If you want to question him, go ahead. I won't stop you. I didn't eavesdrop anyway. Old Manly has been doing this a lot lately. Tang Feng is going. Who else wants to go? Huang Jing did not care about the noise from these guys and asked again. Me. Lu Fengru answered without explaining. Old Manly chuckled. I'll go take a look too. I won't fight. I'll just watch. If the restricted zone knows about me, they'll probably send a rank 9 to keep an eye on me. I can also hold back a rank 9's combat strength. Huang Jing heard this and said, If the 3 of you want to go, I'm afraid the principal can't go. Elder Fan had been recruited. The Ministry of Education wanted the principal to stay in Hope City to prevent any trouble from happening in Shanghai. High Grand Master Su Haoren was stationed in the catacombs of Zhongzhou, replacing Alliance leader Zhao. High Grand Master Wei Yong guarded the Nanjiang catacombs, replacing Wu to guard it. This way, Elder Fan, Alliance Master Zhao, and Guardian Wu will be able to fight. At the side, Lu Polu spoke slowly. I won't be going this time. As he said that, he looked at Fang Ping and asked, Do you still have life essence? Lend me 10 caddies. Fang Ping's expression was one of astonishment, followed by extreme joy. Lu Polo was the oldest Grand Master in MC Mayu. He rarely said anything, much less took the initiative to ask Fang Ping to borrow anything. But now, Fang Ping said immediately, No problem. Is 10 caddies enough? Old Lu, you're going to. Lu Polo laughed. Not yet. I've only honed 21 skulls now. There are still 5 that haven't been honed. This time, I want to try and see if I can complete the honing of these 5 skulls as soon as possible. I've been stuck at rank 7 for too long, so long that I'm almost in despair. During the Nanjiang battle, I thought that if I went, the one who would most likely die would be me. In the end, it was NMAU's Vice-Chancellor and the others. During the Magic City battle, I thought that I would die too. In the end, I didn't. Since I can't die, then I'll take a gamble. This time, I'll try and see if I can complete the honing of the skulls using a large amount of life essence like I did with longevity. 21 pieces already. Old Lu, you're progressing really fast these days. Fang Ping beamed. Life essence is no problem. If Old Lu needs it, I still have some imperishable substances that are more suitable for honing the skulls. If I can enter rank 8, then MCMAU will be even stronger. Lu Pola's qualifications were really old. The people of the old Vice-Chancellor's generation took an even longer time to break through to rank 7. Logically speaking, after rank 7, the barrier of qualifications had already been eliminated. However, it was unknown whether it was because of his previous injuries or his old age that he lacked some drive. Lu Polo had never been able to enter rank 8. Now, there was finally some hope. No wonder he did not mention going to the Forbidden Catacombs this time. Fang Ping did not say much. Soon, a bottle appeared in front of him, and he tossed it to Lu Polo. Lu Polo smiled but did not say anything. A piece of paper floated toward Fang Ping. Fang Ping saw Guo Xingquan and the other new grandmasters looking at him curiously. He coughed dryly and said, I was just joking. Just joking. Seniors, please don't mind me. At this moment, Guo Xingquan had also read the contents of the note clearly. He could not help but laugh. Then, he said, Everyone, you don't have to treat us as outsiders. Since we've come to MC Mayu, then we're part of MC Mayu. These few days, we've also gained some understanding of MC Mayu. Honestly, MC Mayu is better than we thought. The atmosphere here is very good. At first, I thought that MC Mayu is similar to Polaris City. Everyone is in charge of their own things. Although we say that we're from the same city, we're not a family after all. There are still differences. But now that we're here, I've realized that I was wrong. MC Mayu's high-ranked martial artists are worthy of being called grandmasters. Just their magnanimity alone is something that we can't hope to achieve. Guo Xingquan was full of emotions. He said, We also know about the Battle of Forbidden City. Before this, we really didn't consider participating. I even thought that MC Mayu had no choice but to participate in the battle if the government did not enlist us. But today, everyone's words make me feel very ashamed. The threat of the catacombs, the threat of mankind. Every martial artist from the outside world dares to fight, and everyone wants to fight. For the Battle of Forbidden City, I'll go with Dean Tang and the rest. Beside him, Guan Fu also laughed. I'll go too. Let's go together. It'll be considered an official debut. Now that we've left Polaris City, we haven't achieved anything. Coming to MC Mayu, to be honest, I also feel that we don't get along very well with everyone. The biggest reason is probably that we've never fought together. After experiencing life and death together, I think MCMAU will no longer be estranged from us. If we want to live our own lives, as martial artists, fighting is indispensable. Fang Ping said hurriedly. Seniors. Guan Fu laughed. See, the estrangement is here. You've always called us seniors. We've also heard of the others that you've called. We've also heard of Big Lion, Old Man Li, Old Man Huang, Old Wu, and so on. In my opinion, this is trust and closeness. Of course, we've only known each other for a short time, but if we want to quickly integrate into MCMAU, there are still some things that need to be done. Having said that, Guan Fu laughed again. After all, we're already rank 8 martial artists, and have comprehended the martial path of origin. Our abilities aren't considered weak. I've known Hui, Old Gua and a few others for decades. We've also entered the catacombs together to fight. If the three of us join forces to deal with a rank 9 weakling, we're still confident. If the other party has only comprehended the origin but not the martial path, then there's a high chance that he's no match for us. Beside him, Mei Lingfeng said coldly. That's right. The three of us may not be as strong as Vice-Chancellor Wu and Dean Li, but if the three of us join forces, we won't be weaker than the average rank 9. Since we want to come out and gain everyone's approval, then we can't be left out of such a big battle. This time, there are more than 100 Grandmasters participating in this battle. With the three of us participating in this battle, we can be considered to have officially integrated into the martial arts world and become a part of it. No matter how famous we are on the Grandmaster ranking, we won't feel unworthy anymore. After the three of them said that, Fang Ping pondered slightly. Old Man Li laughed. Are the three of you sure you want to go? After all, there are a lot of powerhouses participating in this battle, and they may die. The three of you have just come out of retirement. If you don't go, no one will say anything. When Fang Ping invited you to come out of retirement, he also made it clear that you will only teach and not enter the catacombs. Even Minister Zhang agreed to this point. Guo Xingquan said calmly, Martial arts must fight. Since we've come out, then we must understand this principle. We are also rank 8 martial artists, how can we not understand? As for dying in battle, if we really die in the forbidden catacombs, I only hope that when the catacombs are made public in the future, we can leave our names behind. In this life, we must live out our own lives. Old Man Li laughed heartily. That's true. The three of you are all rank 8 powerhouses and have comprehended the origin. Since you've already made up your mind, then we won't persuade you otherwise. However, instructors Liang and Fan don't go this time. You're only rank 7. It's your first time participating in such a large-scale battle. It's too dangerous. Seeing that the two of them still wanted to say something, Old Man Li pressed his hands together and said, If the two of you really want to, you can go to Hope City to assist the Vice-Chancellor and guard Magic City's catacombs. Old Wu wanted to go initially, but there are many in Sky Gate City now, Magic City. Fang Ping interrupted. Old Man Li rolled his eyes and continued. There are many MCMAU instructors and students gathered in Magic City. Old Wu is also worried. Huan Jing and the two of you, together with Old Wu, Ko Bianjiang, and the rest, should be enough to guard 2 cities. As for me, I'll bring Tang Feng, Fengru, and Old Gua. The 6 of us will go to the forbidden catacombs together. Old Lu will be guarding the school. It's a good chance for him to go into closed-door cultivation to see if he can achieve rank 8. Fang Ping and Li Han Song, the two of you decide. As the strongest powerhouse in the school, Old Man Li did not hesitate to make arrangements. After saying that, he said smugly, MCMAU is really strong. Not only can we guard the catacombs, we can also support other places. It's equivalent to 2 or 3 rank 9 combatants supporting the forbidden catacombs. Just this point alone, the West and South Guardian Manors can't compare to us. Fan Ping looked at him smugly and shook his head helplessly. A bottle appeared in his hand again, tossing it to him, saying, This is all the life essence. You should use it sparingly. After saying that, many golden spheres appeared in his hand again, tossing them to everyone, saying, "This is all I can do." "Oh right, old Gua, do you and the rest have divine weapons?" He had never asked about this before. Gua Xingquan shook his head and said, "We don't have that. You know, we don't have many catacombs battles, so, is that so?" Fang Ping sighed in his heart. What a pauper. It was normal for them to not give it to them over at Star City. They did not participate in the battles, so giving it to them was useless. He Quan was only working with them over at Star City. They were not really a family. Fang Ping had many divine weapons himself. Even though he had auctioned some last time and distributed some to some rank 6 instructors later, he still had many in his hands. After thinking for a moment, Fang Ping said, "The 3 seniors are all rank 8 powerhouses. Rank 7 divine weapons won't be of much help. However, Minister Zhang is over there. He has the ability to fuse divine weapons. I still have 12 rank 7 divine weapons here. I don't know if I can fuse them into 3 rank 8 divine weapons." A rank 7 divine weapons value was about 10 billion. A rank 8 divine weapons value was at least 30 billion and above. The higher ones could be as high as 50 billion. In terms of value, it was not impossible to fuse 3 or 4 divine weapons into one rank 8. However, old Zhang would probably have to put in a lot of effort. After Fang Ping said that, without waiting for them to speak, 12 divine weapons flew out and floated toward the 3 of them. Not only the divine weapons, but also a note. They were stunned for a moment. Fang Ping smiled and said, "Let's do it according to the usual practice. Since the 3 instructors don't have divine weapons, then I'll lend 12 of them this time. Each of you can write an IOU of 50 billion. They were stunned again. Fang Ping smiled and said, "None of you have any doubts, right? This is very normal. This is also MC Mayu's practice. There are too many instructors who write IOUs to me here in MC Mayu. Dean Li has a few trillion. Vice-Chancellor Wu has 200 billion. After this, Old Lu will also have close to 100 billion. Instructor Tang, my instructor, Vice-Chancellor Huang, they all have tens of billions. Those instructors and students in the school, there are even more who write IOUs to me. If you have the money, I'll pay it back. If you don't, there's no rush." The 3 rank 8 powerhouses were stunned for a moment. Then, a few of them laughed. It was a very surprising thing. They did not expect to have such an experience in just a few days after coming to MC Mayu. The first surprise was Fang Ping's wealth. He gave out life essence like water. There were more than 10 divine weapons at every turn. They had never experienced such an experience, even in Star City where there were more than 10 people. They had never written IOUs before. However, they had seen the IOU that Lu Pola wrote earlier. Now, they followed suit and wrote one for each of them. Fan Ping put them away quickly. He sighed in his heart. There were more and more IOUs. After he put them away, he looked at the 2 rank 7s, Liang Yuqin and Fan Hua. He smiled and said, "Although both of you are only going to the Magic City catacombs, and there may not be any danger or battles, it's not bad to have a divine weapon to protect yourself. I'll lend each of you a rank 7 divine weapon. Let's write an IOU of 10 billion. Old Manly rolled his eyes and said, "Didn't you say there were only 12? This time, it's really the last 2. Fang Ping sighed and said, "Completely gone. Other than the 2 divine weapons I have, I don't have any more. The harvest from the King Battleground has been completely used up this time. All the divine weapons were gone. Back then, they had obtained more than 100 divine weapons. However, they had used them 7 or 8 times. Including some rank 6 instructors, they had really run out of divine weapons. Even the 2 ancient divine weapons that were comparable to rank 9 were given to Qing Yaoting and Tai Tu. Fang Ping had given it to Tai Tu earlier and asked him to find old Zhang to modify into a boxing glove that was suitable for him. This fellow only had armor. He did not have an offensive divine weapon. He was still using A-class alloyed boxing gloves. A rank 9 ancient divine weapon did not have any spirituality to begin with. Tai Tu eagerly went to find old Zhang to modify it, and it became a rank 8 boxing glove. It was similar to Qin Yaoting. The last time he used an ancient divine weapon to merge with his own divine weapon, it only became a rank 8 divine weapon. But it was considered a fine one. This time, the 14 divine weapons were out. Other than the 2 that Fang Ping used himself, he had no more divine weapons. The divine weapons are gone. The life essence has also been given to Old Manly. I've stuffed the energy ores into the mineral vein. I've also thrown the mentality accessories to Round Face and Qinyunqi. Fan Ping did some calculations and looked at the empty storage space again. At this moment, he was really poor. He could not be any poorer. Including the Sky Gate tree. He had thrown it all to Old Wu in exchange for an IOU that he did not know if it could be cashed out. The gains from the King Battleground and the Sky Gate battle have all been used up. After distributing the items, Fan Ping looked at everyone and said, "Then I wish all the instructors a safe journey. Safety is the priority. When you enter the catacombs, don't ever mention my name. This time, I heard that people from the restricted area are going there. There's also King Huai supervising the battle. It's best if you even take off your MC Mayu martial arts uniform. Students in the restricted area have provoked countless enemies. It's more serious than all the instructors think. Don't ever mention me." Everyone was speechless. The few new grandmasters had a strange look on their faces. These words. Why did this guy sound so unreliable? Lu Fengru ignored him and asked, "What about you and Li Han Song? The 2 of us will go somewhere else. We won't be a burden to all the instructors." Fang Ping smiled. "This time, we'll see if we can get our hands on a mentality cultivation method. If we can, we'll be rich. It'll be much better than destroying the catacombs. When the time comes, with a cultivation method that can cultivate mentality quickly, we'll still be able to rise up the ranks. The instructors won't have to stay in this realm because of mentality anymore." After saying that, Fang Ping looked at Huang Jing and said, "Vice-Chancellor Huang, you'd better enter rank 8 as soon as possible. Otherwise, you might be surpassed by me when I return this time." Huang Jing was speechless. He had already honed a piece of his skull and entered peak rank 7. As long as he honed another 25 pieces, he would be rank 8. This kid was so confident. However, once this kid finished honing his skull, once his mentality reached 3000 Hz and above, he might really be surpassed in no time. For a moment, Huang Jing was a little anxious. Just look at Tang Feng and the others. Now they would run wherever there was a war. Why? Was it not because of the pressure? It was too hopeless. He and Lu Fengre had just broken through this year. They were both early stage rank 7. Ranking aside, the key was their realm. Beside them, the 2 grandmasters, Liang Yuqin and Fan Hua, were also slightly nervous. So soon? Both of them were upper stage rank 7 martial artists. Their skulls had not been honed officially. MC and Mayu's grandmaster meeting ended very quickly. The grandmasters went about their own business. Those who should go to the Forbidden Catacombs went to the Forbidden Catacombs. Those who should go to the Magic City Catacombs went to the Magic City Catacombs. The Forbidden Catacombs Great War would happen at the end of this month, or the beginning of next month. Fan Ping spread his wealth in exchange for close to 200 billion worth of IOUs. He did not get anything else. If the school sends more grandmasters in the future, I won't have any more divine weapons to borrow. Dean Luo, Dean Zhang, and Old Su, the 3 soon-to-be grandmasters, all have divine weapons. Dean Qin and Dean Hu also have divine weapons. But if others break through, there will be no more divine weapons for them. Qin Fengqing, on the other hand, didn't need to worry about him. He had obtained one in suppressing Star City, and if he really reached the 7th grade, he wouldn't lack divine weapons. It's time to go to the West Mountain Catacombs. Fan Ping made up his mind. He made a few calls and was ready to depart. On the 21st of September, Fan Ping prepared to depart. Before he could move, he was stopped by someone. In the crystal tower. Qin Yunqi's expression was complicated. You're leaving again? Yes. For the past year, Fang Ping had been running around. If he was not going to the catacombs, he was in closed-door cultivation. His free time was getting lesser and lesser. To the forbidden catacombs? No, go to the West Mountain. West Mountain? Going to Star Town again? Star Town was also in West Mountain. Fang Ping had just returned. Fang Ping chuckled. Not this time. This time, we're going to the Shishan catacombs to inspect the environment. Isn't there a freshman cultivation arcane realm over there? I'll go take a look. I'll go too. Inspecting the environment? She wanted to go too. Fang Ping was speechless. I was just saying it. Did you really take it seriously? Fang Ping did not reply. He chuckled. You've entered middle stage rank 5. Your speed isn't slow anymore. The school still has some meridian sculpting flowers. Use them all in my name. Finish honing your meridians as soon as possible. Sculpting your meridians takes up more time. Without the meridian sculpting flowers, it's very difficult to enter upper stage rank 5. When you've entered upper stage rank 5 and honed your flesh, I've also left you some life essence. Enter peak rank 5 as soon as possible. Once you've reached peak rank 5, if you can locate the Sanjiao Gate, then I can help you enter peak rank 6 quickly. That way, you can catch up to my rank as soon as possible. When I find the mentality cultivation method and you cultivate it, you might be able to achieve mentality-vitality fusion very quickly. You might even be able to materialize to rank 7. This won't take up too much time. Otherwise, if you run around with me now, you won't be able to cultivate to rank 5 by yourself. I won't be able to help you much then. After hearing what Fang Ping said, Qin Yunqi gritted her teeth. She nodded. I understand. Oh right, about Yuan, supervise her. She's already at peak rank 1. I hope she'll be at rank 2 by the time I return. Nowadays, everyone's cultivation speed has increased a lot. She's my younger sister. She can't be too slow. Having said that, Fang Ping looked at the time and said, I'll leave first. Qin Fengqing and the rest are coming too? Iron Head is going. I didn't bring Qin Fengqing. Fang Ping abandoned Qin Fengqing once again. That guy was only rank 6. He would not bring him. Hearing that Qin Fengqing was not going too, Qin Yunqi did not say anything. It was not that she was jealous. Although Qin Fengqing was despicable, she would not be jealous of him. Even peak rank 6 Qin Fengqing could not go. It was normal for Fang Ping not to let her go. Be careful. I will. Fang Ping left quickly. Qin Yunqi stood at the top of the tower and watched him leave. For a moment she was a little dazed. The top of the tower. She used to think that Fang Ping stood at the top of the tower and looked around to show off. However, at this moment she suddenly had a different feeling. Loneliness. Standing at the top of the tower, she could see everything in the school. She could see the prosperity outside the school. She could also see instructors and students carrying weapons on their backs, walking in all directions alone, moving forward with a heavy load. At this moment, she felt a sudden limitless pressure on her body. Looking at the teachers and students running in all directions, looking at the bustling city outside, Fang Ping was moving forward with a heavy load. Standing at the top of this tower, did he also feel the limitless pressure? So, I still don't understand him, Qin Yunqi murmured softly. On this day, Qin Yunqi sat at the top of the tower, replacing Fang Ping and looking around. The waves of invisible pressure made her desperately hope that she could become stronger, so that she could relieve some of Fang Ping's pressure. On this day, countless teachers and students were surprised. Even Qin Yunqi had been influenced by the company she kept. Looking at the shocked faces of those teachers and students, Qin Yunqi murmured in her heart again and again. You don't understand him. It was lonely at the top. Only by standing here could one understand how much pressure a prodigy like Fang Ping was under. That pressure made it hard for people to breathe. This is Fang Ping. In this era, no one is more magnificent than him. Please remember this book's original domain name. Mobile version. You're tuning into the Phoenix Knights YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.